Hello everyone and welcome to the 7th round of the Abu Dhabi Chess Festival 2023. And here in the studio with me is International Master Ravi Kumar and me, Women Chess Grandmaster Maria Gevorgyan. Will be covering the tournament today. And how are you, Ravi?
I'm fine actually. We could start by saying that the FIDE president is here. And
Yes.
I think his visit will inspire the participants, the organizer, and the others. And also, the conversation in general was, why are players coming late?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, this is a question, and especially the top board, especially both players were late, and the FIDE president was waiting. Possibly, to do introduction,
Yes.
but I think sometimes I don't know. In your playing career, have you been late deliberately, or is
Yes,
some time to
yes.
calm your nerves and things like that?
I've been late on purpose sometimes for
Yeah.
like 1 minute because sometimes chess players don't want to see anyone, to talk anyone. They just want to arrive and start their game.
Yes.
Also, we can say about Magnus Carlsen, right? He always comes to the game like 1 second before the round starts,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this can be done on purpose because some chess players just
Yeah.
want to concentrate on their game. And yeah, of course, it's a big honor to have a FIDE president
Yeah.
today with us.
Also, if you see Kasparov, when he arrived late, and the clock is ticking, he still will take his watch out, put the watch, and
Yeah, take his time to
take his
prepare for
time
the game.
to to prepare himself. I think it's more of the players getting the psychology right for the battle ahead.
Yes, they are coming to the right state of mind
Yeah.
to prepare for it. And on the 7th round, we can say that we have two leaders right now. It's Fedosiev and Xiuxianju. Both of them have 5 points, and we have many players with 4.5 points who are following them, half point behind. And the leaders already played each other. Their game was one of the, we can say, beautiful ones. It ended in a draw, though both of them had chances at some point in the game to win, but it ended in a draw, and now they are playing like against their other rivals who are.
I think it will be a very close race, and with having two players, who are in the lead, having played themselves.
Yeah.
And I think a few of them in 4.5 points. I think some of the players are looking for norms, and they are looking really. With 3 rounds to go, it's looking good.
Yes.
And already somebody was telling me, oh no, 10 a.m. start in 2 days' time.
Yes.
So, the morning thing. I think we can go into the first game.
We can start from the first game, and it was played Petrov.
Yeah, I think maybe the motivation is that, he wants to play something safe. He knows he will get white on the next round, and Petrov is a solid opening.
Of course.
And so when I was researching this opening, what I felt was that after playing d5, Black played d5.
Black played d5. By the way, I want to mention that there is this also beautiful move, knight c6.
Yeah.
And giving up the knight on e4, followed by
Yeah,
d5,
d5.
bishop has to go back, and the pawn is attacking both pieces at the same time. And even after knight c6, d5, there is knight c5.
Yeah.
And after capturing the knight, there is a move e4 with the same idea. But in the game, it was played d5, which is the main line.
This is the main line. I think that, if he was playing round 1, he would have played something which is, I don't know whether.
Maybe Sicilian or something else.
Sicilian. But here I think he just wants to play safe, and if there's a chance, he will obviously, push forward. And I think that the line he played is I was checking with Fritz, it's all the first choice.
Yeah.
And if you play a few moves, I can tell you where exactly that this castle move, and after knight c5, knight c3 is the main move, but he strangely played bishop e2.
But looks like he was prepared for this line, because judging by his time, he plays very fast. And maybe he was ready to play this.
Yeah, yeah, and we can see that his main idea is that he wants to get f4 at the right time,
Yeah.
and also I think that from Black's perspective, he's got to get his bishop out, and I think he's keeping the e6 square for his knight, so that when f4 comes, he can play f5 and block everything off.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting game. So it's bishop e2, not giving the bishop pair is quite interesting.
We can say we're going to have a very calm game, and maybe things will warm up in the middle game.
Yep.
And this is our current position, and it's Black to move. He's trying to make an idea. Most probably he wasn't expecting to have bishop e2. I don't know if bishop e2 was played a lot of games or no.
Yeah, I think it is in Fritz, but Fritz is quite old now.
Yeah.
Fritz 18, but I think there must be a lot of games. And the idea is crystal clear. Keep the bishop pair. f4, f5 is standard plan, and Black has to put his pieces, as you say, and it was played pretty quickly. I was in the playing hall. It was like they both arrived late. They sat down, and the moment the introduction, it was really quick play.
Yeah.
So, if anybody can guess the next move, please let us know in the chat.
From the viewers.
So that we will see whether you got it right, and we'll move on to another game now.
Black is choosing how to go out with his pieces, and basically we can even say that Black has two options: to castle to the short side or even a long side.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't expect to see the king going to the long side as he chose to
I
play.
don't think his main problem is I think his bishop on c8. Where is he going to put it?
Yeah.
Where is he going to put the bishop? That's the main thing.
Right.
Okay.
With the white squared bishop, right?
Yeah,
Because
okay.
the e6 is made for the knight, d7 is too passive, f5 is going to be under attack at some point. And
Yeah. I think he has to plan his pieces now, and no wonder he's thinking.
Exactly. And we can also mention that their rating difference is not big. We
Yeah.
can say this for sure. And, well, we're going to see a very calm game going yet. We can move to the second board,
Yeah.
where Lu Shanglei is playing against the Xiuxianji. We have a Chinese battle on the second board.
All right.
And are we also having Petrov in this game too? No, we don't have. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it's already
We also
says
have-
ended in a draw.
Already, they didn't want to.
Yeah, I think it's some repetition of moves. After, as you say, like.
It was played knight f7, right?
Yeah, knight f7. I think the intention is that you wouldn't play this, and it's a very shocking move, isn't it, from perspective of normal players? But it has been played many times, and then.
Because white usually doesn't want to go for this drawish line and finish the game with the white pieces in a draw. But it continued with the queen h7 and the queen h5, king e6, and they just kept playing queen e2, king f7, queen h5, king e6, and then they repeated the position, and it ended in a draw. So we're not seeing a Chinese battle here today.
So, and one other thing is that identical move, and then after knight f7, king f7, queen h5 check.
We have to mention that after queen h5 there is no move king g8 because it will be a checkmate.
Yep. Well done, Sport. I think here the only move that he when the queen came to h5 and say check, I think one of the moves that is being recommended is king e7.
Yeah, is it dangerous or not really? Because there is maybe queen d5 winning some pawns. The king is in the center.
Yeah, queen d5. I think he's planning knight df6.
Knight df6. Yeah, maybe black can try to keep the knight on the extra knight.
Yeah, but I think that sometimes players want to play it safe. They are from
Yeah.
the same country.
But what to play after king e7? There has to be something for white, I guess.
Yeah, it's recommended queen e2 because you are
Queen
threatening
E2.
f3.
Yeah, maybe it's the same idea, and then black will have to repeat it again. King f7
Queen
and
e2,
queen
now
h5.
king f7. Even Fritz is giving this as a draw.
Yeah, this has to be a draw. It's basically king e7 and king e6 are similar moves, and
Yeah.
both of them are followed with the queen e2 threatening f3, and the king has to go back to f5, and white just keeps giving the checks.
So this is one of the leaders agreed to the draw in board two, is that what
Yeah.
we're saying. So that I think now that takes a lot of pressure off
On Fedosiev.
black. Yeah, he can now guide his position and play his position basically.
Yeah. So tomorrow he will get white pieces and he will try to do his
Yeah,
best.
but I think he, with the pressure gone with these two Chinese player, there's not much difference in their rating. No wonder.
So 10 points, and it's not much.
Yeah,
of course.
no wonder it ended in a draw. And so if we go to board one, let's see if anybody got the right move.
Bishop e7 was played, and it followed with c3.
Anybody commented that bishop is?
Not really. Not really.
No, okay. People are warming up to this chat.
Yeah.
Okay. So bishop e7, sensible move, and then c3 is played to, I think, just to control that pawn, and castles.
I think it will be followed by castle. Yeah.
Yeah, and bishop e3, and now b6. I think from what I look at the position, black is now he's going to put the bishop on b7, which I think he's hoping, and then he's going to swing the knight to e6.
Yes.
And black's plan is c5 and d4.
Trying to create some.
Yeah, trying to create that. While white is going to try f4, f5. This is his typical
After
way.
b6, can white just start with the f4?
Yeah,
Or
white.
maybe-
But I would be reluctant to do this because first I want to sort my knight out.
Mhm.
And I guess that I should just play knight d2 instead of f4
Yeah, it's
because
better
the
not
simple
to show
reason
what
is
you
that
want to do.
just get the development sorted, and then if you need knight b3, it can be available at the right time, and then you could play f4.
So we're going to see some moves happening soon. Shall we move to the board number 3, where Artemiev is playing against Ratanvel?
Yeah.
And it started with the Sicilian d6 and bishop b5. I saw lately a lot of players with the white pieces are following this line with bishop b5 instead of going for Najdorf.
Yeah, I think this young man from India. He's very well prepared, and obviously I think he's the top seed. I think Arnev finally made it to board number 3.
Yes.
I think that he is trying to avoid some main line, but although that the game that Ratnavel played against Aryan, I liked the way white got a nice edge out of it, but maybe it didn't happen. But here bishop b5 check is standard.
He tried yesterday.
Standard Rosalimo anti thing. Yeah.
So black has 3 moves here: knight c6, knight d7, and bishop d7, and all of them are leading to different positions. But black chose to play knight d7.
I think in Kasparov's some notes knight d7 is mentioned, because if we can show our viewers what happens after bishop d7, is that after bishop takes d7, queen takes d7, and then there's c4, and then this line is considered like white is getting like a Moraxibine.
Yeah.
And if black goes queen g4, there's a pawn sack, and so many things go wrong.
We can maybe show it very quickly.
Yeah.
Queen g4, white plays castle, sacrificing the pawn on e4.
Yeah.
But white has a nice move here, d4, and suddenly all the white pieces are entering into the game.
Yeah, all the white pieces are active, and rook e1 is coming,
Knight c3, also the fight for the center, and black has a big problem with the development. But white is ready to sacrifice this pawn for
Yeah,
this.
that's why this line, the players don't play bishop d7, because after c4, you're playing the Maraxi bind.
Yeah.
And that's why I think knight d7 is even recommended in many suggestions.
So knight d7 followed by castle, a6. Bishop is exchanging with the knight, c3, knight f6, and rook e1.
Yeah.
And this is our current position. Is there a move bishop c6 here, or it might be followed by d4 again?
I believe bishop c6 may be just e5 is
Just
quite
e5.
quite good, because and then knight sits on e5, it has to be good. So
Say captures, and
yeah, I think black has to now worry about two things. He can't allow this one, so I think that white has this d4 and e5. So I've seen a lot of grandmaster game where black plays e6 and then d4, chop and d5, and
then the knight comes to e4.
yeah, the knight comes to
We
e4.
can
Yeah,
quickly show it. So
yeah,
captures d5.
yeah, e5, knight e4.
Followed by knight e4, and
Yeah.
the knight is safe here.
Yeah,
No one can attack it yet, and
and white doesn't want to play like knight c3 or something like that, and this is like diffusing the situation. Make it clear for black, and if his bishop on d7 comes out, then he's got the game on.
so in the game after we can just check. No new move after rook e1. But there is a move bishop c4, c6. Maybe we can go through the line again. And after e5, captures, and is it very terrible for the black? Let's say queen d5, threatening checkmate. Knight has to exchange with the
knight
bishop.
c6, queen c6,
Queen
and
c6,
and
d4.
just d4.
Is there a move like rook d8 here?
Yeah, rook d8 is there, but I think this is, you could say this is quite equal, because the main issue here is that how you're going to develop your pieces, because sometimes bishop g5 can come out. And
So Ratanvel is still thinking. Artemiev didn't spend any time in the opening, and maybe we can move to the board number 4.
yeah,
Where Abdisalimov is playing against Anton Guerrero. And let's check what opening happened there. We had Caro-Kann.
yeah. So in this particular variation, apparently when Anand was playing Karpov, there's a story that he was struggling in the match, and then he received some notes about this system, and then he had started getting some success against Karpov. So this has been written that somebody handed. It's not verified, but this is the stories that people talk. Once he started playing this, and then he was getting better results against Karpov.
Yeah.
So bishop g4.
Was played h3. Bishop f3.
Yeah, this all standard moves with the idea of
e6.
e6. I think here what black is saying is that my structure is so solid, and
It's like converting to the French structure without the bad bishop
yeah,
on c8.
yeah, and d4 is quite ambitious to play d4 here. Most players play d3, but d4, I don't know about d4. And
White played bishop e2 here.
yeah, bishop e2 is played, d3 is played, bishop d. So many moves are played, but bishop e2 is one of the best, I guess.
By the way, I guess if I'm not mistaken, there was a game that Tal played against probably Fischer, and after bishop f3, somehow he captured with a g-pawn.
Yeah, that
if
was,
I'm not mistaken, if my memory is not
yeah,
betraying me right
that
now.
also was tried, and
Yeah, and there was a whole fight, and eventually ending
Yeah.
in a draw. Tal played a very nice game. If I'm mistaken, just
no,
fix
no,
me.
I think you.
Yeah,
So here after bishop f3, queen f3.
queen f3. Yeah,
Yeah, I think what.
I will try to check it later about this game.
Yeah, we could check in and come back on that.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Queen f3, e6,
Yeah.
bishop e2, bishop c5, queen g3 and g7 pawn has to be protected right now. And black chose to protect it with a king f8.
That's a really strange move, isn't it?
Losing a chance to castle later. Is it a move? Let me check with the theory. Black has a move like knight e7 here. Knight e7, queen g7. What happens after this line? Knight g6. The queen is not trapped yet. Maybe black is threatening to play d4 and then bishop f8. So white has to capture, and black captures, and there is a move bishop b5.
So bishop e2, bishop c5 has been played, but queen g3 is also in theory, which is what happened. And now the move that was played was bishop d4.
Bishop d4, I saw also games with knight e7.
Yeah, I believe king f8 has been played. In 2019. So king f8 has been played, and if we have to analyze this position, first of all, black is willing to take risk, isn't it?
He is ready.
He's willing to take risk.
He wants to show, I'm here to fight, and I'm here to go for a line that white doesn't know. And white has to make a choice now. They played a castle, which is the most natural move, we can say, and it followed with h5.
Yeah, and I think part of the reason of him taking this risk is that, there's a huge difference in the rating, and this Spanish Grandmaster obviously wants to get back, into the top, and so he's playing something unusual.
He has to play some aggressive chess to be back.
Yeah,
to
aggressive chess.
2700 club.
Yeah. So d3, I guess h4 is the natural thing, and so I think some of the opening, the way white, although his choice of playing bishop e2, I think it looks like black is okay. Black's lost castling, but I think that with the queen being forced to f3, then he can play knight d7, and then the rook can be activated. Ultimately, the rook can be activated. That's the point.
Yeah. So d3 was played. Do you think black is going to play h4, or he's
yeah,
going to take some
I guess
time
h4 is the logical. Why would you play h5? Because I think for some reason, if we can kind of guess that, I think one of the knight is going to come to d7, and the other knight, he might want to, play h4 and then bring the knight out to either e7 and then to g6, and I think he's trying to create a position where the rook on h8 comes out at the right moment.
Currently, the bishops are very well protecting the
at the moment.
squares.
Yeah, I mean that's why h4 is forced, and then he could in future he could try that. Maybe that's part of his idea.
Yeah.
But
so
because
d3 is going to be played now.
But otherwise, that playing king f8, I'm sure we tell all our students, castling is such an important move. But I think in grandmaster level, it's okay if you're prepared. You've seen some games,
some ideas, and basically you have to take some risk, play some new lines, come up with new ideas to be in the top level. Otherwise,
take the risk. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not easy to get to the elite level. Well, d3 was played. Black is thinking.
Yeah,
but it looks like white did all the natural moves. I mean, if black prepared, he could just play faster because white just did all the natural moves.
Yeah, I think h4, queen f3, knight d7. The question I will be asking white, is that what are you doing with your pieces? Because the bishop on e2 at the moment, you're not coming into play anytime sooner, and the bishop which is supposed to be active. I won't even be surprised if g5 comes in later. I'm
at
just
some
saying.
point.
Yeah. So white's got to solve all these problems where black's pieces can find some natural squares. That's what I feel that is happening in this.
There is a good saying. They say that chess is somehow a safe game. If you take a risk like king f8 and giving up your castle, it doesn't mean that you're losing. It just means that the game continues, and chess is a safe game. If you play a6, the first move, it's still a safe move, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, shall we move to the board number 5?
Yeah. Is
To
there
see what is
anything
happening.
interesting happening in a
Board
bit
number
down?
1?
That would be better.
We will check. We will slowly get there.
Let's finish board 5 when
Yeah.
and then we can obviously go down.
So, knight f3, d5, g3, g6. We have a king's Indian,
Yeah.
a4.
And this
A5.
A4 move, I've seen it many times. You know, it's quite a useful move against this.
Looks like it makes it easier for the white later to start the game in the queen side.
Yeah, I think he might be planning to just get c4 at the right thing. He doesn't want b5 to come in. And
e4 and bishop g4, but black won a pawn but gave up the center.
yeah, I think that the point we should make here is that the pawn on c4 is very much, you know, very difficult to protect it.
At some point.
I have a feeling that bishop e3 should be played here, and that shores up the pawn on d4, and then you know, he can start working on that pawn after playing h3 and then asking the question. So
We have to protect d4 pawn first of all, because bishop f3 is a threat.
yeah, bishop
And 2
f3
pawns
was a
will
threat.
be-
Yeah, but yeah, bishop f3, you know, and then the question I'm saying here is that keep those 2 pawns in the center as much as possible, and I think
Maybe later rook
after
c1.
bishop e3, I mean, I don't know whether I should play like knight e8. It looks very tempting for me, but knight e8 and then
Oh, bishop e3 was played in the game. Shall black try to somehow play e5 in this position, trying
Yeah.
to fight for the center?
yeah. Also here knight e8. The idea is that d4 is under attack, and it cannot be easily parried.
Maybe they are forced to play e5 or d5.
Yeah,
one of these
e5.
moves.
Yeah,
Maybe e5 to open
yeah,
up this
yeah.
bishop.
This is what I'm thinking, that then black can put knight on b4, pawn on c6, and then regroup. You know, even if that pawn is lost.
But white wants to play h3, and
Yeah.
if the bishop goes back, it will be played knight d2 if the knight leaves the square on c6. But maybe bishop e6, let's say knight b4, h3, and thus this bishop has to give it up. Or just bishop e6 is possible here.
Yeah, bishop e6. I think there is some
Following f6.
Yeah. I think this is a long time strategy to win that pawn back. It's
So bishop e3, actually some moves were played. Black played here queen d7, and he played it very fast.
yeah.
It followed knight e8. Sorry, yeah, queen d7 was played.
Queen d7 was played. I think he doesn't want to h3 to come in, and he's not threatening rook a d8 to come in.
Queen d7 looks a very logical move.
Yeah, looks very logical. That, you know, the pin is quite annoying, I would say.
And this pin is also annoying. And yeah, shall we just go through the games to see if something interesting is happening? Like
I was just going to mention that the game.
check board number 7, because they exchanged all the pieces, and maybe we'll have a very fast draw soon.
Yeah, this is heading
This is
for a
draw,
draw.
yeah.
Nobody's winning this
Yeah.
one.
So we're gonna have a drawish result on the board number 7, and let's check what is happening in the Matlakov's game, because the opening looks quite interesting. It's a Botvinnik line.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
e5, cd4,
It's
knight d4. This is what happened in that.
the Ragozin. Yeah, knight d4.
I think h6 should be played here. Then I don't know whether it's just.
It's not. It's out of line.
Yeah, part of the line, and I have a feeling that
There is a move queen a5 here.
yeah.
So black can play queen a5 and white shall capture and queen
Yeah,
g5. So this looks, and queen a5 follows some tricky lines, knight c6. White is winning the piece back. Knight c6 captures.
No, first
no,
bishop
bishop
c3 check.
first. And captures.
Yeah.
And now
And
black
now
cannot capture the knight.
you don't have many moves there.
No. Bishop d7 has to be played. And queen b4.
Yeah.
White is piece up.
Yeah.
So what to play after bishop d7? Yeah. Okay, let's go back to the game. But what else to play after knight d4? Maybe, as you mentioned, h6 would be easiest, but after h6, can white just try to win a piece? Let's say capture on f6, black captures, and queen a4. But here is maybe a little bit different. Knight c6, white captures, black captures c3, let's say again, and after capturing, maybe I can just play queen d7. Some crazy line, but bishop c4 or take on g7 and then I don't know if this is
after
line or
knight
not.
d4, I think the main move is queen a5
Yes,
or
but
bishop c3 check.
queen a5. This is okay. After capturing on f6, black doesn't take on
Queen
g5.
a5, ef6. It's the line that you mentioned.
And bishop c3 instead of
Queen
capturing.
g5 is a mistake apparently
Yeah.
because of what you showed. So the correct move is bishop c3 check, and then after eliminating that, queen takes g5,
Yeah.
and then fg7, and I guess queen g7. And I think, how would you analyze this? There's, he's got 4 + 2, 6 pawns against 5 pawns, but he's got no development. Obviously, white can play various moves here. Could play bishop c4. Looks very, very tempting for me. And I got my two pieces up.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
give that up. Yeah.
Well, this is some crazy line happening on the chessboard. But it was played. It was played quite a few games.
Yeah. I think the main thing we could say that rook f1 here, and then what the point I'm making is that where are you going with your king? There's
Yeah.
moves like knight b5, knight d6 is coming. Relatively the white king can even castle queen side. So this is risky, I think.
Yeah. It's hard to evaluate these kind of positions, but you're right. The king cannot go to the short castle. Maybe it can, but
Yeah, I think that I'm even tempted, if you castle, I'm even tempted to play king d2, king c2, and I think that line is there. But I think white doesn't even need to do that. There's some simple move like queen d2 and long castle.
Yeah.
There will be a lot of things.
Well, we have two undefended kings in the position right now, and after knight d4, black is thinking actually.
So after knight d4, he's thinking. I think if I look at there's only h6, bishop c3, or queen a5. Only 3 moves available.
Yeah. Okay, you think queen a5 is going to be played?
I think queen f5 is the main move. Yeah, has to play active, and I was going to make a suggestion that if you went down, there's an interesting game where
On board.
I only know the name of the player.
Okay.
This is this Chinese player playing, and he's already having a really good position there. This is Dai Changran against Sanket Chakrabarti. Again, big rating difference.
Yeah.
And this opening was quite interesting, although it started off in a very quiet way. and you could see that.
Yeah, accepted Queen's Gambit. B3
Yeah,
was played.
this
This is a
is-
new move.
Yeah.
Not very new, but
No, but this is being recommended by many coaches,
Yeah.
especially, I think originated, I think being recommended by many Croatian coaches. They were, because the point is that if black expands with b5, the bishop drops back to e2,
Yeah.
and then a4 punches in.
Yeah.
That's the point here.
I think this is one of the moves I stopped playing, the
this is,
accepted Queen's Gambit.
it's almost recommended in, safe way against Queen's Gambit accepted.
Yeah. So knight
So-
bd7 was played.
Yeah, he
The
played
main
knight
move is
bd7.
knight c6.
And anyway, bishop e2. This is quite, white is quite clear in where he's going to put his pieces. And after b6, being very conservative, bishop comes to b2, bishop b7, knight bd2, all pieces developed,
Bishop e7 takes,
and then
captures,
take, and then knight c4.
and bishop d5 was played.
Yeah, and can we mention that instead of bishop d5, the queens can't be traded favorably, then b6 becomes a very big
Yeah.
problem.
So after knight c5, yeah, knight c4 was played, trying to exchange the queens, but
Yeah.
bishop d5 stops it. Not to get the weak pawn, as you mentioned.
I think that white has some minimalistic thing here. He should. I think he's probably planning to put his queen on d4 because he can't be disturbed now, and then also rook c1, rook f d1, something like that.
Yeah. So bishop d5, what shall white play? Is there a move like queen c2
Queen,
here?
no, queen
Or
d4.
to-
No,
queen
go,
d4.
go queen d4 because
More
queen
active.
queen can't be disturbed there easily, and then you might have some patterns to go to the king side, but it actually frees the rook. If we can show them to the viewers that both the rooks are fully connected,
Yeah, the rooks are very well
very
connected.
very well connected.
One will come to c1, one will come to d1. And,
Absolutely, yeah.
controlling both open files. So queen d4.
Yep, looks logical. I think for me, because where queen c2 is not really a safe
Yeah.
square, and I think this one is better for him.
Mm-hmm.
Even he doesn't want to stay in the battery or something like that. And then can we say that it's black who has to equalize here?
Yeah.
White is doing really well here.
After queen d4, everything it looks fine.
Yeah.
But like black is always trying to equalize the position in the opening.
Yeah.
We can say it. Is there any other interesting game?
I haven't seen anything, but we'll go by your choice.
We can just follow. Maybe we shall check the game of Adiban to see how
Okay.
he's. What is happening here?
So he's
Shall we check this game?
yeah, he's
Jakuboyev.
playing black. Is he?
No, this is not Adiban. This
Okay.
is Jakuboyev against Yaur
Yeah, sure.
Rahman, and
This is that triangle variation, isn't
Yeah.
it? And then it's very well recommended, and it's one of the lines that where
it's a
But-
theory. Yes. So
a lot of theory. Can we show to the viewers why the bishop can't be taken?
yeah, after queen d6,
Yeah,
if the bishop is captured, it
Yeah,
will
I think
be
it's just
followed
rook
by
d1.
rook d1, and how to protect this checkmate. Maybe f6 or f5,
yeah.
but also here just f3 might be winning the game because c6 will be hanging later.
Yeah,
The queen has to move and queen c6.
yeah, that also.
Well, bishop d7 was played. This is still a theory. Rook d1
Yeah,
and long castle. Black is not scared. Bishop c3, f6, and knight f3. And black's queen is in the center. The bishop is pinned. The knight is in the corner. Black
The
is still
other
thinking
knight
what
is,
to play here.
other knight is not developed at all, and the rook's yet to come. But I think for a pawn, white has got some compensation. But I think this queen remaining on e4, because ideally white would like to castle and just get on with his attack.
So basically, we can say that white has a nice compensation against pawn.
Yeah,
And-
this
but
this
Evan
variation
Martins-
has always been like, white gets compensation. Black has to be on his toes to play something.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, white cannot do a castle yet. Maybe to start with the rook d4, trying to
Yeah, rook
eliminate this
d4
queen
or
from
even I
before.
was thinking just knight d4.
Yeah, but what shall black play here now?
Yeah.
That's the other question. Also, before b5 might be happening
Yeah, that might
at
be
some
a,
point.
be a solution there.
And
And I think your move rook d4 is very appealing to me. The reason being that if white castles, then what happens is that he gets a huge lead in development, and that has to mean something.
maybe e5 can be played here to stop rook d4, or even c5, so that the queen will come to the king and trying to protect it. c5 looks pretty good here.
So I think that I can't allow queen e2. There's nothing else happening here.
Maybe king f1, like in the game of Anton Guerrero.
Yeah, but after you played c5, my feeling is that, still your pieces are not tangled correctly, but at least you stopped my pieces coming up, and
I want to connect my queen to my king, so
yeah.
it will at least try to feel a little bit more
I
safe.
think white should now go like queen g3 and explore the weakness there. Keep the.
Shall we go to the first board to see what happened there?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, because we have some development there. After c3, black played castle,
Yeah.
bishop e3, b6, and c4 was played.
Yeah, I think white is trying to play very active. If d took 6, c4, I think he wants to go bishop f3. I think possibly he wants to go bishop f3 and misplace the knight, but I don't know how much this would be, or
is it
or,
worth the exchange or no? That's the whole
yeah,
problem.
Yeah, I think
That
also
one,
he can't play bishop c4 because then black's pieces come really well.
Let's say bishop c4.
Yeah, I believe that here that he's willing to go to an end game, and so black has to, this bishop is quite strong on c4, so he has to probably play bishop e6 and exchange.
Maybe queen c2 here.
Yep. I'm very tempted to take on c4 and go queen d3. This is my plan.
I was checking some idea after, let's say, captures. What if white doesn't want to exchange the queens? Is there a move?
Yeah, you could play queen
here?
c2.
Let's say if black tries to hold this pawn.
No, knight d3. But I think that
knight d3.
Knight d3 is rook d1. Yeah, you're covered there.
I can take on yeah, e5 is hanging.
Yeah.
No,
I think
I think I can take it.
Yeah.
Because knight e5, queen can come to e4.
And there is a double attack.
Yeah. So maybe queen c2. I just saw this line. If black tries to keep the pawn, it can be followed by rook d1.
Then b3 is quite good, no? b3.
Yeah.
Right. That also. So I don't think he should keep the pawn, but I think that that after c4, I think d takes c4 was played, or this is the position?
No, this is just
the
what
position.
to play with the black. Bishop e6 maybe.
Yeah, bishop e6 looks okay.
Is there a move bishop f3? And
Yeah,
maybe
c6.
just c6 and knight c3. Okay, bishop a6 was played after c4. Good move, actually.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is that if you go cd5, I go bishop e2, queen e2, queen d5.
Yeah, and I start liking the black's position here.
Yeah, let's go to another board where.
Let's go to another board. Let's check out. Adiban's game we wanted to check, right?
Yeah, because
after yesterday's game.
What type of game is he going to play today?
Yeah. Okay. He's playing with the black pieces.
Yeah.
And he chose French.
Yeah. He's known to play French a lot, and he's done a lot of.
Bishop b4, queen d2, and bishop d7.
Yeah, this is, standard way. I think after yesterday, maybe he's just trying to play.
Yeah, he's just playing his lines, his...
play something safe and, end game, still grind out, because I believe what he believes is that after f6 is the main move, that, he will have some edge.
Yeah, maybe even here.
Yeah, even here f6, and then he will have some kind of an edge.
Nice. So, well, really hoping that he's going to come back. And as we mentioned, we have another draw on the board, number 7. And let's try to see if there are some other interesting games happening somewhere around.
Yeah.
And here we have Suchko Bartosz. I want to check this game. So e4, c5.
Yeah, this is that accelerated dragon,
With knight c6 and e5. Knight g8 is the main move here.
Because knight d5 sack has been proved not to be.
Yeah.
So this is all theory.
And e6. I'm trying to remember. I guess there was a move like queen a5 here right away, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there was. And here white is actually sacrificing the pawn.
Yeah.
After bishop e5, they can play this line, castle, knight f6, rook e1, and d6.
Yeah, this looks quite tricky for black, isn't it?
So black really has to know this line very well to be able to play this. And after queen e2, there is bishop f5, and it's an interesting game. But white, as I mentioned, black has to be like really prepared in this line to be able to play it. But okay, knight h6 was played, which is one of the moves. But then it comes e6.
Yeah, I think he has to do this because knight f5 was coming, and I think this is what it's leading to a very...
There is also a move like g4 somewhere, I guess, but maybe not here. Actually, a game was played with g4, but there is d6 after g4.
e6 is quite logical, isn't it?
It is.
It is just, get rid of the weakness, and...
e6 was played. This is a line, castle.
Castle.
Bishop g7, king g7, queen d4 check, f6 was played, captures with the queen, castle, queen d4, captures, knight f5. But after knight f5, looks like black is...
Yeah, I think that black is
fine.
Looks fine here, and I what I feel here is that white is hoping that he will get this rook to e1 and he will get something out of it, but in this comparative battle, the white king is far away, whereas the black king is already very active.
Yeah.
So that might play a part later in the game.
So basically, the eval bar believes that white has a big advantage here, but I prefer not to trust eval bar very often. So this is very playful position.
Yeah, I think end game black king is getting active, and he can have the majority. So rook e1 is almost forced. Otherwise, e5 was at the right time. But where is black going to get his rooks activated is the biggest thing.
Yeah. So rook e1 was played in the game, and maybe we can move to the other games to see what is happening. Just trying to find some interesting games. If our viewers have any preferences of a game that they'd like to check out, just let us know and we're going to go through it. Maybe we can check Emin's game. He's a young Armenian player. He's an IM, but he already did everything needed to become a grandmaster. So
he's got his grandmaster norms.
Yeah, he got all the norms. He has the rating, so he will be a new grandmaster very soon. So e4, c5 was played, Sicilian. Okay, yeah. By the way, I think we shall mention that there is a beautiful line with the white pieces here. Knight c6 captures, e5, knight d5, and there is a line where the king comes to the f3 square, and it counts to be like white is completely fine. I think, let me try to remember the line. Yeah, queen b6, it is c4, followed by bishop b4 check, king e2, bishop a6 and king f3, and it is counted to be that white doesn't have any problem here, but it's a beautiful line.
Yeah.
And this is one of the choices for white. And after knight c6, knight b5 was played, not knight c6, so d6, this is
Bishop
another
f4,
line.
e5. He's just converting into
Yeah,
normal Sveshnikov, isn't it?
yeah, they just
And then
went to
knight
Sveshnikov.
b5, this is all typical thing.
Bishop f6, everything is line, c3, white has a choice, c3
Yeah.
or c4.
Yeah, this is the line that Anand has played a lot of games here, and again this is I don't see what I'm liking here, but I think it's something
I think
new
there was
theory.
some line instead of a4 to play g3,
Yeah.
h4.
Yeah, but I think he's doubled his pawns and you know.
And d5 was played.
Yeah,
Good move.
really good move. He has free himself, and
Yeah. The
and
weakness is gone.
I think for queen d5, he might be thinking like
Bishop g4, no, bishop. Okay, what to play here?
no bishop e6 with the idea of bishop b3, and
Yeah.
you know
Let's say captures.
that looks very
captures.
dangerous. Yes, you are a pawn up, but
Yeah.
there's bishop d2 check happening. You can't
Mhm.
take on f5.
So
Yeah.
let's say if bishop e2, black can just play bishop d2.
Yeah.
Looks pretty interesting. After knight d5, black captured bishop b5, captures, and queen a1, queen b8. I still want to see how white lost the pawn. Bishop b6, b4.
Yeah, and now I think bishop d4 was
Bishop d4,
played,
yeah.
and that's how I think that.
Yeah.
But,
But
you know,
does white has to play b4? Maybe yes, because now black just wants to play bishop d4 and attack this pawn on b2. So
yeah, I think the main thing is then how strong is the knight on d5,
yeah, this is the
and
current
you know,
position.
and this looks like quite symmetrical, and you know,
Looks very drawish, right?
it looks drawish, but can he do anything with the knight? I don't know.
Yeah.
And you know, at the right time, maybe he has some attack going on if he can penetrate. But I think with the bishop on d4, f2 is under attack.
Yes. Maybe it will end in a draw, but is it a good choice to go with the black pieces to this line and
Yeah.
against a lower rated player and just end in a draw like very fast? Okay, shall we move on? I have another friend here. Let's just very quickly.
So this Divya Deshmukh, which you
yeah,
have
Divya.
here.
Everybody is asking to check Divya's game.
Yeah, Divya's game is quite good.
Okay,
She's
check.
three above.
Yeah, she's playing against Zhao Yuanye,
Yeah,
and
she's one of the you know, most upcoming players. Very talented.
yeah.
You know,
I think I played some online games with her before.
yeah. It's just she plays really solid way, isn't it? I mean, she's been taught to play quite
Yeah.
boring chess.
95 was played, knight c6, and queen a4. Bishop b5 takes, castle. Well,
Yeah,
bishop
this is
f6.
just like trading pieces and saying,
Yeah.
let's play some safe chess.
Very safe chess, I would say. But it's a good strategy. You're drawing with the higher rated players who have almost more than almost 100 rating more, and slowly.
Yeah, it looks very solid, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, shall we go back to the
Top
top games
boards,
pack
yes.
before the break, and then
Yeah.
you know, we can just do a quick review and then come back.
Yes, sure. So bishop a6 was played. We don't have a move on the first board. On the third board, we have well, we had some exchanges. Yeah, bishop d7. We had this line, and a knight came to a4. Knight
Yeah.
d2 was played. Knight d2, knight d2, and rook c8. So this is the current position. And on the board number 4, we have, okay, let's see what happened here. On the board number 4, h4 was played after d3. Queen h2, knight d7, and bishop f4. White is trying to use the black squares to enter with the bishop. Maybe
Yeah,
now, maybe
I think
later.
bishop d6 would be at the right time, but
Yeah.
I think black has to stop it now, and I don't know, but looks to me like that this is very nicely poised.
Yeah.
And
Well, we're going to have some development soon, after some time.
yeah,
And what do you say if we go for a short break?
yeah,
and then
we'll
we'll
go
be
for a
back
short break and go and have a look around,
Yes.
and maybe we will catch some of the emotions there.
Exactly. And let us remind again that we have already a drawish result on the board number 2nd, and one of the leaders of the tournament, Xiuxianju, finished his game very fast in a draw with a beautiful line. And we'll be back after the break. Don't go anywhere, because the most interesting part is still ahead.
Yes.
See you.
See you soon.
Welcome back everyone to the Abu Dhabi Chess Festival, round number 7 already, and the tournament is just getting more and more interesting. We stopped on the game of Spanish Grandmaster Anton Guerrero, and in the game after Bishop f4 it was played d4.
D4. And I think my first thoughts here is that Bishop d6 check, he cannot trade.
Yeah, because d4
Because
will be hanging.
Yeah, I think this will be just one pawn down. I think this d4 move, it somehow something it doesn't like. So Bishop d6 check. Is there any other move he
Maybe just capture it, cover it with the knight e7.
Yeah. But I think now
Is there a move like knight a4 here?
knight a4 is possible. Yeah, definitely.
But,
Yeah, putting
exchanging
pressure,
will
and
be
because you
possible.
want the queen on d6,
But
and
knight
that would
f6.
make life somewhat trickier.
There's knight f6 after this line.
Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah. So maybe I think that after Bishop d6 check, knight e7.
Can I still win a pawn? Or no, not really.
No, I think the main idea here is the knight has to go to a4, but then after Bishop d6, you clearly demonstrated you can equalize very easily. So maybe that's why it looks obvious to be good, but after knight e7, I think that where is the knight on c3 going?
That's
And
the biggest question. Maybe not to take it in the corner. Maybe I can just even bring it like. Maybe a knight b1 might be possible.
Yeah, knight b1 with the
Trying
idea
to-
of knight d2 and all is possible.
And then white is making a decision to bring it to c4 or f3.
I think from black's perspective, he wants to trade and play knight f6, or even knight f6, bishop d6 and queen d6, knight f6. This is what he's hoping, that he'll be able to squeeze something out in the end game. But this looks quite equal at the point. Okay, so
But it's a complicated position.
yeah, he didn't play bd6 check
Yeah.
yet.
We can go back to the first board where, by the way, white was thinking for quite some time already in that position in the Anton Guerrero game. Let's go back to the first game and see what happened there after, let's start from here. Bishop a6. White played, captured the pawn on d5.
Yeah, bishop
Bishop
e2, queen e2, queen d5, and now f4.
And then f4 was played. After f4, queen d3,
3.
knight c3,
Yeah,
captures, and f6.
f6. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main idea is that he wants to deal with that pawn, but I'm not so sure that after I go like knight d4 back again. I don't know here what is the motivation for him, because his main move knight d3.
Yeah.
His main move is knight d3, but I don't think knight d3 hits anything. Oh yes, he might be working with f into e5, and then and this no, you got knight c6 in between, which is
Yeah. Okay,
like gaining a tempo,
Right.
but I don't know. Maybe that's
Is it a useful tempo?
Yeah.
Or-
and that knight looks very nice now on there. So I think that this particular, it looks like white was playing a very safe game. White was playing just something very normal, and black has to try hard, and I don't think that black got anything out of the opening because of this.
Exactly. Knight d4 was played. Most probably, black is going to capture the pawn, because I think maybe knight c6 is already coming, and white will push the bishop to d8.
Yeah.
Maybe even with the ideas of capturing bishop c5, attacking the pawn
Yeah,
on c5.
Yeah, I think here the main thing with knight d4 is that you are threatening e6 now as well with the idea of f5.
Yeah.
So that's why there's an urgency in black capturing on e5.
Yeah, and knight c6. So white has a choice.
Yeah.
knight c6 or capturing, but knight c6 looks quite good. Why not?
Yeah, because you get knight e7 with check, and there is e takes f4, but after knight e7 check,
King f7.
there is a little trick, king
Bishop
f7, bishop
c5.
takes c5,
And bishop.
and then you emerge with the knight.
Well, he's not gonna fall for this.
No,
definitely.
I'm only
Yeah.
pointing out to the viewers,
was nice.
that sometimes there's trap, but what else can he play here?
By the way, let me remind to our viewers that if you have any preferred game in the tournament that you would like to check out with us, just type it in the chat and we'll be happy to check it with you.
Yeah, check it out with you.
So knight d4 was played. White is still thinking. Shall we go to the board number 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
We have to mention, I was checking that Artemiev, the first few rounds, he was playing very slow. And now he started playing quite fast, by the way. And we can see that from the time that he has a peak time advantage right now. And, well, the line that we thought is going to happen happened. d5,
Yeah.
knight d2, exchange, rook c8, and rook e3 was played. Black played queen c7. And what is happening now? Black has 2 bishops, but the center is closed.
Yeah, the center is closed, and I think what White is saying is that, because here the point may be queen c2 might be a move that he wants to play in.
Yeah.
And if you go rook c3, he will go queen b8. And Black is saying here that after rook e3, queen c7, I'm threatening queen c2.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, you still have to get the knight and the bishop out, and kind of prefer Black here.
But also, what is White saying is that you cannot move the bishop yet because I might always have rook g3 attacking this pawn on g7. So, and also after queen c2, is there a chance White will not want to exchange the queens?
Yeah,
and
but
just
then
play
you
queen e1?
allowed the queen to c2,
Yeah.
whereby then how you untangling your pieces is the biggest thing, because he's got bishop b4 move, which threatens the d2 as well.
And what happens after rook c3?
Rook c3, queen b8, and I believe that Black got the tempo up. You really don't want to trade pieces, because the more you trade pieces and you go to the endgame, Black is going to be more comfortable in this position.
Maybe rook g3?
Yeah, rook g3 is possible.
Now.
But now there is no rook c2, but now there may be bishop b5, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And that bishop is trying to come in at the right time. But also he could put some pressure with queen a7 on the d4 pawn.
d4 pawn. We can say that if Black will manage to open the position at some point, the bishops will be too powerful. But it's not happening yet soon. So White is thinking, and Black is behind in time a lot.
Even rook c3, he could go queen b6.
Exactly, queen b6.
Yeah, it apply pressure straight away.
And White has to make a choice now, how to protect the pawn on d4.
Yeah, and trading pieces is going to help Black.
Exactly.
So, any other move after rook e3? Are they still thinking? Looks like they are still thinking.
Yeah, queen c7 happened, and White is taking his time to understand how to continue the game.
Can we also say what does White want? What does White want?
White, I feel like White wants to wait for now, but maybe also at some point maybe they will.
Yeah, I think he wants to get his knight to f3, get the bishop out, and even I feel that there is he wants to get the knight and the bishop out.
But also, can we say that the Black's king is safer in the center rather than
at the moment it is safer,
castle?
and I have a feeling that bishop e7, and even if you said rook g3, I can go g6 and then castle, and then f6 breaks the center. So he's not in a hurry, but what do you do with these two pieces? If we can show by highlighting the knight on d2 and the bishop on c1, you can see that those two pieces are in the way, isn't it?
Yeah, but the moment they will go out, but the bishop is kind of where to put the bishop.
Yeah, I think the bishop In some cases, I've seen the bishop appear on c3 to seal the c file.
Yeah.
But I have seen some games where they don't take the back on d2, they play bishop d2 and then put the bishop on c3, and that seals the c file and then gives.
Of course, White would like to jump its bishop to the c3, but it's not happening anytime soon.
Okay, we can come back to this and go to another game.
Board number 4 after bishop d6 was played on board number 4.
Wow.
No, it wasn't. Sorry.
Oh, wasn't played.
Sorry, it wasn't played.
Still thinking.
White is thinking a lot, by the way. He's calculating. Maybe this is a critical moment because you have a chance to play bishop d6. You have a chance just to move your knight, trying to play slowly, and then put a pressure on d4. And he's making a decision.
Maybe what you said is right, that the knight should come back to b1, and
And then after
b1
d2,
and d2. I'm
knight
thinking.
has choice to c4 or f3.
Yeah. And just a little bit background about this player. I think if you look up in chess results, he's already very close to getting his performance is good enough for a norm, and he's had really good run. Yesterday, I believe he drew with Arvind Chidambaram, another strong grandmaster from India. So I think this young man from Uzbekistan is playing some great chess, and he's got a big battle here, playing against 2693.
It's a good opportunity for him just to get the norm, because he needs strong players and higher rated players. So, this is going to be an interesting game. Shall we move to the board number 5?
Yeah, I think we should, because I think looks very stagnant in my opinion. And this is the game where you had Arvind Chidambaram playing black. And after queen d7, we said it's a smart move, queen d2,
rook d8.
And a rook d8, and then I believe it's rook a1. So what White is telling black is that, I can also put my pieces in good squares. Everything is protected. Yes, I can't kick your bishop on g4 with h3, but what to do with this c4 pawn? When are you going to recover it?
He played queen e2, attacking queen c4 right away.
Right
and
away.
it followed with a nice move from the black e5.
Yeah, okay.
I always wanted to do this e5 move with the black pieces because it always helps the attack the center, because White is so dominating in the center, and it's so hard to play when you're doing nothing in the center.
Yeah, I think in this situation is quite prime for him to do that, because you can see that after e5, I can't play d5 because of knight d4.
Exactly.
And
knight d4 is a strong move. Let's check a little bit out. If bishop d4?
Yeah.
Black captures?
Yeah, black captures and...
White captures?
Yeah, I feel that some tactics are there, because maybe e5, d5, knight b4, sorry, maybe
By the way, this was played in the game.
There's some play in the game, but...
They played knight d7.
Yeah.
Rook c4 and knight e5.
Yeah.
Now, black is still putting some pressure with this pin.
So black felt that there's play in that, as long as the pin is there, and he doesn't mind. So where does the rook go? Now rook has to go to c5. And then b6, rook has to go to b5. And then this rook is going all around places, isn't it?
It is just walking throughout the board.
Yeah.
And then it ended up being on b5 square.
like a pincer movement. Go there,
Yes.
it's just
yes.
like that. And now, of course, f5, and the biggest problem is the knight, the pin, and so he gets out of it, and now knight c4.
Knight c4.
So I think that
black sacrificed the pawn, but suddenly black's pieces started to play so well and so coordinated.
I believe queen c1 should be played here, but I believe this queen c1 should be played here. Because
is black ready to go for the...
Yeah, I want to hit the knight on c4, you see, but then he's got
d3.
this knight d6, which is annoying for me, that knight d6.
Exactly. What to play.
And I'm not comfortable here, because I lose the pawn with the tempo. And again, this rook is going all over the places. I don't like that rook rook b3, you go probably fe4, and then it's quite.
Yes, yes. Well,
But again,
Let's
you will
see.
see that white is also a grandmaster, and when he's
course.
accepted the pawn, and he can see that knight d6 is coming next, and how can he maintain the queen?
what was in his mind, right? But we
Yeah.
can see, look at his time. He did a move, he played queen d3. To steal after knight d6, his idea is that after rook b3 and black captures the pawn on e4, he's not losing this. He can take the pawn back.
Yeah.
But is there any moves like bishop f5? But knight d6 is always possible now.
Yeah, bishop f5, you have knight d6,
Yes.
obviously. And then bishop d3, knight c8, bishop f1, knight e7 check. No, maybe bishop f5 is good. Bishop f5 is good.
Bishop f5?
But I'm not worried about this. I can play knight h4 straight away.
Exactly.
Taking away everything out of from there. So it's really quite interesting that Black decided to gambit so many things.
Yes.
And so it's almost like Black is, yesterday's game, if you see in contrast, he was exchange all pieces, and then
yes.
you could predict the result a mile away.
Exactly.
But here, this one, he's
Where is
playing
it going?
really aggressive chess. So for queen d3,
We might have three results in this game.
yeah,
we can
he
say.
played c6, which is another interesting move. And again, the point is that now there is added pressure on d5, and the rook has to come back to b3 now, I believe that. And then you see the d5 pawn is hanging now as well. So maybe this is what he wants to
Maybe
play.
he just can capture on
Yeah, he
e4
can
and
capture
then
there,
capture
yeah.
on d5. And this might be more than enough for the
Yeah.
black to get the advantage.
So how many moves did the rook make?
We can count.
Because rook came to d1.
We can count. Let's check. 1,
1, 2,
2,
3,
3, 4,
4,
5,
5,
6. 6 is coming. Yeah.
6 is coming.
Oh, queen
So
d3,
6 rook
was played,
moves
yeah.
is a pawn up, but Black has got so much play.
But also the rook doesn't have anything to do how white wants to activate it. Well, it stands very well here, attacking b6, but I think it's just concrete. Black can just capture on e4 and after capturing maybe just take on d5. But maybe he saw something else better, like c6, let's say rook
No,
d3.
but I think what Black is hoping is that by destroying White's center, we can point out the rook on b3. Obviously, what is he doing there? He's not placed ideally. He's not going to come out.
Yeah.
And the moves you're suggesting is that, whereas if you look at the black queen and the black rook, everything is so well placed. So my prediction is that Black will win this game because of,
I think I feel the same. But okay, we never know.
Yeah, never know.
Everything
but
can happen.
Looks like Black's got the initiative here.
Yeah, everything can happen. That's what we understood after yesterday. And
Okay, so I think that this is very exciting game.
yes.
Lot to think about.
We have another game played by two Indians
Yeah,
and Aryan Chopra.
yeah.
By the way, he started a very good tournament, Aryan Chopra, and I feel like he's still going quite good.
But I'm not inspired by his opening choice.
Yes. Just
His opening choice is so bland. For somebody to look at the game and then say, okay, he's trying some minute edge and there, but
maybe he just wants to play a calm chess, and he's
Yeah.
like, I will outplay in the end game. That's what he's thinking about. But well, we're gonna see. Nothing special happening here yet.
yeah,
Matlakov's game. Let's see what happened after.
yeah.
So knight d4, queen a5 was played.
Queen f8 was played. That's what we were saying, and then ef6 this is all the line we were talking about.
Yes.
Bishop takes c3, b takes c3,
Queen
queen g5, take, queen d2.
Everything is forced.
And then even bishop c4 reset came. Well done. You know, I think this we predicted this
Yes.
very, very clearly. And-
Black didn't capture the g2 because it will be really dangerous at this point.
Yeah,
Because white can just do a long castle, I guess.
yeah, long
and then-
castle, and then
Yeah.
you're running into the g line attack.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And so of course black cannot capture on g2. Bishop d7 was played. It followed with a short castle.
yeah,
And well, white maybe will try to transform the rook to g3 at some point with this line, but not yet. Knight f3, rook d8, rook d1, knight a5.
yeah. I think,
So white has to exchange. Has
Yeah.
to. Queen e5.
but I think that then rook f e1, and then he's got something here, isn't it?
Where?
Rook f to e1, chase the queen away with the idea of
Yeah.
Rook-
Here, right? I
Yeah.
was saying maybe, in this position, this was my idea, just to play rook
Yeah.
a1. And what is happening? Okay. If,
I think that he might not even trade there. He might just prepare himself with king h8. This is what I believe, that
and
rook e3, rook g8, and then rook g3,
yeah.
queen f6.
And white got nothing.
Yeah,
you can
I
say.
think what. Yeah,
Or maybe there is something that we are not seeing.
see, this entire
Can I
line
play knight f3 now?
is yeah, but
Rook a d8.
yeah, now
Maybe.
rook a d8. No, I rather I think you might have something. I was thinking like. Knight a5, but rook queen d7, knight c4, queen b7 you have, and then I can't even touch c3 as well, but so it is.
Yeah. Can I just play bishop d3 here?
Yeah, this
Okay,
also
bishop
looks.
c6 threatening to capture on f3. And then
Yeah.
I have rook h3 here.
Yeah, this is quite dangerous. Yeah,
Forcing, okay, I have to be losing here.
I think maybe it says rook g2 is working. That's why everything has
Does
gone
it?
haywire. Is it king g2,
Captures?
queen f3,
Nice.
and then
Very
rook
nice.
g8,
Very nice. But king h3.
king h3 is there.
Yeah.
It looks working, but it's very nice. But maybe no need to give the queen, but.
Yeah.
But
maybe-
it's very interesting what you suggested is
maybe here to start with the rook g8 check.
rook g8
because-
check,
yes,
and then
and-
king h1.
Rook h3, queen f3,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
if
yeah.
king h1, just bishop f3 or
No, even
For
queen
fun, we
f3.
can
Queen
go
f3
for
is,
queen
is pretty
f3.
strong. Yeah,
nice. Yeah, your
Yeah.
idea works in a different order.
in a different.
Nice.
But I think that if we go back to the position, I think that this. I think it's too complicated to bring the rook to g3 when
Yeah.
you probably can see that black can play king h8 and rook g8.
Exactly.
So maybe the different approach is needed, because after bishop d7,
knight f3 was played. So
Yeah, knight
c6,
f3 was
knight
played.
f3, and let's
yeah,
check
you can't
out
afford the trade, because then it becomes then
Rook
rook f d8.
rook d1,
Hmm.
knight e5, knight e5, the knights are and queen h6. Yeah, white is playing quite now. If there is anything, he will bring it.
Yeah, there is rook d3. There's also queen c3 is. Can we eliminate queen c3 by showing just rook
Yes.
d3 is going to crush completely? Yeah,
If queen
Not-
c4, just rook g3 and
yeah, this is crushed. Yeah,
the end.
The end. Yeah. So that's why I cannot take on c3, and
Bishop d3 was played.
bishop d3 was
Queen
played.
g7 and there it goes. Bishop h7.
Because the d8 is
Because-
hanging.
Yeah, because if queen
Very nice.
takes queen g5, let's say queen g6 and rook d8, and white is winning an exchange. Nicely played. So after bishop h7, nice tactics. Black just played king f8.
Yeah, he has to play that because taking that. But now he's a pawn up, isn't it?
He is. He just exchanged the queens, and
Yeah.
this is our current position where white is pawn up,
Yeah.
2 rooks and same colored bishops.
And I feel that bishop c2 should be played now.
Bishop c2, yes, to feel
Because,
safe.
yeah, it's just now everything to play for now, isn't it?
Exactly.
He's a pawn up that makes a lot of difference there.
So bishop c2 was played. It wasn't played yet, but it will be played.
But we are predicting bishop
Yeah.
c2 because the bishop on c2 may come to b3, and and a lot of modern grandmasters play for very small advantages, and
Yes.
maybe this is what he's waiting for.
I wanted to go to this game, board number 10,
Yeah.
where Ajay is playing against Narayanan, a very strong grandmaster.
Yeah,
And, we started the opening. No, we didn't see the opening, I guess. Well,
he's from a small state called Kerala,
okay.
and
Narayanan, right?
Narayanan, he's become a grandmaster, and after he became a grandmaster, there was article in ChessBase that he hasn't found some sponsorship or something,
Yeah.
and then something was given to him because he's a pretty strong player.
I
And-
remember him. He won a few tournaments in
Yeah.
in Armenia,
Yeah.
open tournaments, and
Oh, he's
I
come.
didn't know very well, and I was confusing him with the other Narayanan.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "No, I'm the different one," and I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry."
The other Narayanan is the one who got the chess Olympiad to Chennai.
Yeah.
He's got his connection with the
Yeah.
local officials there, and he got that. On this Narayanan is a very simple person. I've had a couple of chat with him. Doesn't talk much. Looks very reserved, and he's
Yeah,
very
I realized
focused.
that, yes. And I think at some point he was working with the same coach as me, Almatik Grigoryan. That's why he came to play in one of his tournaments in
right.
Armenia. And he's a very talented guy, of course. And very, very calm, modest.
Very modest person.
As a person, very nice person.
Yeah.
Bishop g4 was played, a3. Bishop captures, knight a6.
Yeah, this is looks like black is saying to white, I'm playing like e5, give me a chance, and white is trying to get f4 in and do that. So this is quite. And then after e6, knight d2.
Knight c7 and queen h5.
Yeah, the queen h5. We don't like queen h5 because probably the equalizing move should have been probably like. Because queen h5, what are you doing? There's nothing to follow up, isn't it?
Yeah, but the main thing we can say that d4 is a very strong square for the black knight.
Yeah.
And white's king is open. Maybe you will not feel what is happening with it yet, but at some point it's gonna make it obvious. Knight b5 was played. Yeah, knight is coming to d4.
Yeah,
Rook
very
c1
clear
and knight
plan,
d4.
isn't it? He just wants to occupy d4, and he managed to do that.
Exactly.
And then bishop g2, and then queen f6.
Bishop d4.
Bishop d4.
Knight d4 and queen g4.
Yeah, I don't like white's position here. Okay, and
We don't have a move yet, but
no.
How shall black convert the advantage that he has right now? Because maybe white wants to play e5.
Yeah, I think black has to play e5 here.
Black has
possibly,
to play e5.
to keep that thing going on.
Let's check
and
a
then-
little bit more.
Yeah,
Say captures, and is there knight c4?
yeah. And then you get e5 anyway.
Yeah,
So the bishop.
that's my plan. I want to maybe castle later and then e5. But okay, let's say queen goes back, but where? Queen e6 maybe.
Yeah, but again, I think b3 is kind of hanging. So I don't know what's going to happen at the end of
My
all.
idea was that if I take my queen away and white tries to do a castle, there's always h5 kind of a move,
Yeah,
trying to win an exchange. Maybe it's not worth it because the knight on d4 is quite strong. But
Yeah,
queen g4. This was just an idea to play e5. But
yeah,
how else to stop this move e5?
yeah.
And
But
is it
I
that
think also
dangerous?
he might be thinking that h5 now here, and then where's the queen going?
Queen has to be protecting f4 pawn, so they
Yeah.
have to play queen g3.
G3, and I think that although you get e5, maybe long castle now, just ignore everything and
Wow, that's risky.
quite
That's
risky. Yeah,
risky.
e5, and then it allows knight e4,
Yeah.
but
Also, this bishop becomes a monster here.
Yeah,
on the
monster.
diagonal.
So maybe I think h5 with the idea of he should follow through with h4 and then e5. Whether that
maybe
makes
even
it.
h3. That's
Yeah.
well.
And then I think he has to deal with that e5.
Yeah, he will have to. Let's say e5. What is happening still?
Yeah, that yeah. But what other solution he has if he doesn't play h5? Because what I thought was h5 is at least giving him one tempo and taking the queen away on g3. Or maybe he just can play queen g6 here.
Just simple, right? Exchange the queens.
Yeah, queen
but
g6.
To do it after pushing the pawn to h4 or
yeah, queen
right
g6
away?
first. Just queen g6, edge g6. The pawn f4 pawn will be a weakness. Even you play e5.
Yeah.
There's nothing much happening after that, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe now you can do the castle.
Yeah, just do the
might
castle.
be
It's
before-
less risky than
it
what
might
you
be
were saying before.
before. Well, h5 was played in the game.
Okay, so I
h5,
don't-
queen g3 has to be played, and
maybe he's just
queen g5 was played. But this just simplifies the position, right?
yeah. I think it makes it easier for black, and
He can just exchange and all these pawns. That's the whole problem of
Yeah.
the white. All these pawns, not e4, okay.
I think he didn't like maybe he didn't like queen g3 with the queen being out of the way. Then black would castle queenside. That's what he was thinking. So that's why he went in queen g5. And so what is white's problem? Can we say the pawn on d3 is very weak, the pawn on b3 is very weak?
And maybe g5 at some point will become.
Yeah, g5 will become
Because
weak.
let's say I want to play h4 now.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
Because I don't want white to play h4.
Because
and-
h3 is quite punchy move now.
Exactly, and I also want to play rook h5, attacking
Yeah.
this pawn here.
And anytime he plays f4, you can gambit with e5. as well.
e5. Maybe I might even start with e5 and
Yeah.
then rook h5. These are just ideas for now, but queen
Yeah, but
g5.
that h4 is quite good move. After you trade off, you are not allowing. F4
Yes,
will definitely be e5 at the right time.
because
And-
otherwise white will put the pawn on h4. The
Yeah.
pawn on g5 will not be. You will not sense the weakness of the pawn on g5.
And he can't trade the knights, and your move h3 is going to
Yes.
create some more things. So we quite like that.
Yeah, we like Narayanan's position.
Yeah.
Is there any game where we have a result? Oh, by the way, let's go back to the board number 4. I think we have some. Knight b1 was played.
Yeah. So
He-
which you had said, that knight
Yeah.
has to come to d2, and makes sense not to rush in with bishop d6 check.
Yeah.
Makes really good sense there.
Knight b1, just easy game, and
Yeah. Redeploy the knight,
exactly.
and the pawn on d4, because structurally white structure is fixed, but black structure is quite flexible.
Yes.
And what are the clock times here looking like?
It's kind of an equal, like 9 minutes difference, and it's black
Yeah.
who is thinking. So, well played. But bishop d6 was also an idea. I think he was calculating long the bishop d6 move, and then eventually he stopped on knight b1. Shall we check what is happening on the first board?
Absolutely, yeah. I
And-
think that was left very, very decisively. We were talking
Yeah.
about that.
White didn't play knight c6 here. He
Yeah.
decided to
I
go with
think we could explore that. It could be that just I think it may be. What's the reason? Can we just think about fe5? Why did he play knight c6? I think it's just bishop f6. That's the reason.
But if after bishop f6 I
Yeah.
want to capture the pawn on e5,
Yeah, this looks very dangerous actually.
yeah, this is very good.
Yeah.
Later I will take the knight, but let's check knight c6. What was he scared of here?
So what else to play here? I mean, like, maybe just rook e8 and protect the bishop.
Can be. But what happens here if I capture?
Yep. Knight e6, like we
Knight
were telling
E6.
about the...
But I might be greedy here. Can I?
Yeah, I think so. It's working, I think. Yeah, you managed to get something. So I think that knight c6 was interesting. I don't know why
It was quite good.
wasn't played. Maybe I think that I don't see any point, but ef4 we did say knight e7 check, and then bishop c5 we said all that, but anything we are missing?
Maybe rook e8
Yeah.
captures and bishop f8.
Yeah, but this also, I think rook e6 is being threatened here.
Rook e6 is a threat right now.
Yeah,
And bishop c5 is not hanging anymore because...
No, it's
yeah.
not working anymore.
Yeah,
no.
maybe rook f8, that's what
No, that was the idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Very well done, yeah. I think that knight c6, black has to do something very structurally and calmly.
Yeah, that's the only way probably to fight for the...
Yeah.
But
So-
okay, white captured, rook f1, bishop f8 was played.
Yeah, the idea is to get the rook to e8, you see,
Okay, yeah.
and the knight will come to e6 or
And
knight
knight
d3
d3.
even.
Well, b2 is hanging. White
Yeah.
has to protect it with the bishop d4 or b3, but black might just exchange the bishops next move.
Yeah,
and,
bishop d4, I thought c4 was very, very strong.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think that,
because black is completely
But-
okay with the draw.
yeah,
We can say it. Fedosiev, he's leading the tournament. He has half point more. He's playing with the black pieces. Tomorrow he will get white.
yeah.
So
I think he wants to make the most out of here because the board number 2 ended in a draw.
yeah.
So it might to be his advantage that going into the penultimate round with, if he wins this,
Yeah.
half a point lead, and that will certainly help.
I think he would play more aggressively if he was playing with the white pieces.
Yeah, I think he is
Yeah.
confident here. I mean, he's confident that he doesn't see any risk for black. So I mean, b3. I think c5 is coming, and I don't like this structure of what's happening here,
Yes.
and rook d1 is coming. So maybe you have to go rook e8 first to force me to defend against the weakness.
After
Yeah.
b3.
So if you go b3, rook e8 first, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I have to protect it with bishop
d4,
d4.
and then possibly he
Is
has
there a move
knight f4 first. Play some tricks.
Is there bishop c5?
Bishop c5 equally good, but yeah, bishop c5 is equally good. Yeah. But the problem is after bishop c5, knight c5. I don't. I mean, you plan to take takes c5. It's not going to
Yeah.
work. So why not play knight f4? My suggestion,
Yeah, let's check.
because it is threatening something tricky. Yeah,
What
you
do
have to
want
go
do
rook
after
e1,
rook e1?
and then maybe knight e6, and then
Okay,
bishop b2.
goes
Now
back.
try the d line, take the open d line. I don't know. This is
D8.
I think what he should hope for. Something
Yeah.
will
So
happen here.
Basically, you just want to block this pawn on e5 and then control the d file,
Yeah.
and well, everything is possible. And then bishop c5 is a nice
Yeah.
move. And
Yeah, I think bishop c5 check. If the bishop leaves d4, then bishop c5 check is definitely.
yeah, okay, we'll see what will happen soon. In the game, we have currently knight d3 played, and white has a problem with this b2 pawn to solve for now.
Yeah.
But maybe black will try to overtake some advantage here. And I'm saying from the first day, Fedosiev is playing a very nice chess in this tournament.
Yeah.
He's playing a very good chess. All the games that he played here were very high level. He is showing a high level chess.
Yeah, and I think that he's the one playing for the win. White will be happy with the draw.
Yeah, because
and
of this
I
pawn on
think
e5.
he's playing
actually.
for very microscopic advantage. And after b3, I think he went rook e8,
Yeah.
which is correct. And then and he's trying to get that bishop off that diagonal. So, and these pawns are quite weak, you see.
If he manages to convert this, as you said, microscopic advantage to a win in this game, then he will have a big chances of winning the tournament. Like he will be leading alone before 2 rounds of the tournament, and
Yeah. Can we also show to our viewers that the black's ultimate plan, if the rooks are exchanged, the king will come to
exactly.
e6.
Let's say everything is exchanged and the king will just come to e6 and e5 will always be hanging. So basically the passed pawn that white has, that seems to be a good pawn
But
with
it's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a potential of becoming a queen, and it's
Yeah.
always getting attacked by black pieces.
It's under attack, yeah.
Yeah.
So b3 was played, I guess. And
Yeah,
then,
but we don't have it here yet.
yeah.
We'll come back.
We'll come back to this.
Yeah.
Yes, why not? Sure.
Let's go to the third board probably
Yeah.
to see what is happening. And what happened is that you were right. White was scared of the queen entering to c2.
Yeah.
And white played rook c3, queen b6, exchanged the rooks, and knight b3.
Yeah, I think what I feel in this position is that, black is the one who's going to have something. There is zero attack on the king side. So there is moves like bishop d7,
Yes.
and there is a race who's going to take the c file. And even now f6 can be played very comfortably at the right time. So I think that maybe black is just thinking that, maybe he wants to play f6 earlier, then queen h5 check is there, or just go bishop e7 castle.
Just bishop e7 castle looks quite simple. Bishop e7 castle and f6. This
And
looks
I think
good,
white's plan
idea.
is to put the bishop on e3 and knight on c5.
And then try to control the c file.
Yeah.
Yes. Interesting. Well, I mean, I think we explored all the lines for all the plans for both sides. Shall we go to the game of board number 4 maybe?
Yep.
To see what happened here. Knight b1.
Yeah.
Well, nothing changed since our last
Yeah.
check. Board number 5. Okay, what is happening here? Black had an advantage, and after c6, rook b3, and knight b2 was played in the game. Wow.
There's so much.
This was not expected. We did not expect this.
But what else he could have done? He didn't have anything else going
yeah,
on.
but let's check what is happening after rook b2. What's the
fe4,
idea?
fe4.
And f takes on e4. And the thing is that if queen captures bishop c3, also this bishop is protected with
by the queen, yeah.
And the rook is under attack, and the pieces, even let's say rook c2, can black just capture on d5?
Yeah, can
bishop
do that,
f5.
or bishop
Yes,
f5.
yes.
But I think with the rook on b5, when the things went suddenly, maybe he needs to sack the exchange there.
Right? But how? He didn't get a chance to sacrifice.
Yeah,
an
he doesn't
exchange.
get anything, but...
Queen c2 was played, and this is a position. Of course, white couldn't capture the knight. A lot of pins. White was under the pins the whole game. I mean, first of all, this pin, now this pin, and then it was this pin. Black is just pinning everything in this game, and
and the idea of playing queen c2 is that when you get your knight back to c4, I think that,
white is like, okay, it's I gave my extra pawn back.
Extra pawn back,
and
yeah.
now I will play.
But still, black's initiative is like continuing. You see, he's not getting. It's there is something happening.
It does.
Queen c2, knight c4, and there's nothing. You can't untangle it. That is also equally quite.
My idea is that after queen c6, I can just play knight d5. Threatening knight e7.
Yeah.
And the knight is centralized, but maybe after protecting the square on e7, black is threatening to take on e4. Well, is there anything better after queen c2?
Queen c2, I think.
Knight c4 has to be played.
It's
the other idea is to give up this bishop.
Yeah, that's too risky, because after bishop
Exactly.
c3, you can play rook c3, and then the knight is quite.
Yeah,
knight is kind of trapped there.
So it has to be played this, but the knight
Yeah.
is trapped. You're right. So knight c4 is the only move.
Yeah. So, but even after knight c4, your move of d into c6.
Maybe he's calculating capturing on e4 first.
Yeah, that also is possible. But after knight e4, then he plays cd5.
Yeah.
He's okay there.
This was the idea. So knight e4 doesn't work, but what else to play? If queen e4...
Yeah, no, queen e4, bishop f5 is just very, very...
Yeah.
So fe4 may be the...
So, well, after queen c2, instead of knight c4, black can just capture here.
Yeah. And
maybe knight
taking
b2
on
has to
b2
be
is...
played.
Yeah.
Or knight g5, I don't know. Maybe knight g5.
No, but I believe that...
this is good.
This is
That's
quite
good for black. Yeah. Well, after queen c2, he will take his time. He will think of all the moves. And shall we check the game of Matlakov?
Yeah,
We
sure.
had the Aryan. And
So this is very delicately balanced as well,
yeah.
and this was the game we said that it's.
White is trying to slowly convert some little advantage to a win, but he will manage to or no. By the way, White did a very nice idea here. After knight d7, he played h4, and then h5, and this was a good idea. This was very nicely planned by White to push the pawn on h5, trying to create
I
some
think
game.
is the bishop on h6 under attack or something is wrong here, isn't it?
No, it is. It's black to play now, so black has to make a choice. The idea is that yeah, he captured.
So knight c4, the bishop was under attack, and
Yes, after knight c4, and the idea was that to push the rook to g8, so that after bishop c4, White can always capture bishop c4 and win an exchange.
So he's getting something minuscule out of this one, isn't it?
He's trying.
He's trying.
Is there a move like king e7 maybe here just to stop knight d6?
Yeah, I think what he can claim is that
Yes.
that he's got the space on the queen side, and then he might try to get his rook to double his rooks and double his rooks on the h file, and he might just be playing.
So you want just to start with the...
Yeah, I mean rook h2 or even I was thinking
I cannot even capture because you can just play g3, and let's say bishop f7. There is always an idea of rook h1.
No, but why don't we play g3, anticipating that this cannot be captured?
Yeah, it cannot be captured. That's why.
No, but instead of rook h2, we can play just g3, anticipating that. And
first to here, and then we try to double the rooks on the h file. But can just
even
play
I'm very tempted that if he goes bishop f7, trying to force h6 is quite good.
So g3, let's say bishop f7, right?
But
I can still play like rook rook h2. Let's say you capture, and I want to play bishop e2. First knight e3. I want to bring the knight to f5.
Yeah, you got all. You're controlling most of the thing, and. But even I'm saying there's a move like h6 which will...
even... I still would like to try to open the h-file, because h7 will always be weak. But, okay, for now White is playing quite confidently, we can say. After bishop c1, he captured rook c1 very fast. Knight d6 is a threat trying to win a pawn, which can be stopped by two ways.
By king e7?
By king e7 and maybe b5.
Yeah.
But then black will give up a file.
Yeah, a file, and then there can be a quick switch around. So I think king e7 is the
king e7 is the
king
most
e7 needs to be played, and then white can try to get something on the h file, and as you said.
Yes. Shall we check if there are any other interesting games here? Well, Hans Niemann. We didn't check a lot of Hans Niemann's games.
Yeah. I think this was quite interesting when we left it, and the G4 move was played, and I think he's just going for a big attack on G5.
I think g4 is a line that people started playing nowadays. Knight d7, c4. It's a two-flank game for both of them, and knight f6 was played. What was supposed black to play here? Well, knight f6 looks fine. And queen b7, queen c2, rook h4, bishop e2, and g6. Okay, one question. Moves like knight f7 don't work here, right?
Yeah, because king f7, queen g6.
But then I have.
Oh, sorry,
bishop h6.
I'm so sorry. There's bishop f5 in between,
Yeah.
so you can't even play knight.
Okay, so knight f7, maybe just black
Bishop
starts with
f5,
bishop
yeah.
f5, and yeah, this is the move. Rook g3, king f8, and queen c6. And what is happening now?
I think that white decided that there's no attack. Black's got a solid position here, and he went queen c6. And the first thing we need to see what's happening for knight d5. So if knight takes d5,
Maybe just bishop f3.
possibly bishop f3, and this would be quite tricky to play, and the diagonal looks really tricky. The diagonal looks really dangerous, isn't it? The bishop f3 is,
Yeah.
and yeah, this I don't like it. I don't like the looks of it.
It doesn't work. I wanted to sacrifice a few pieces trying to attack with the queen and rook
Yeah.
on d2, but it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work. No.
Bishop f3, yeah.
So queen c6 could be a very good move, because I think queen he's trading the queens, and
But what is happening? Let's say I capture,
yeah,
you take with the pawn,
You
and
take with
now
the
I
pawn.
have this d5 pawn, which I like a lot.
yeah, but that pass pawn is a bit dangerous.
Yeah.
But maybe queen c6 is bad, and you shouldn't touch the pawn, and maybe he should just go rook b8 or something like that, and
Trying to
yeah.
capture here, or knight d5 even
Yeah.
already gets possible. Rook b8 looks quite interesting, but can white overtake the advantage here,
Mm.
or not yet? What to play
Yeah,
now?
this is quite left very, very, very delicately balanced. I mean, it's about who's going to get first. Black's structure, I like black's pawn structure quite a bit, whereas white's got he's got four pawn islands,
Yes.
and how is he going to continue here? Is going to be there.
What is happening after queen rook b7? The rook b8. Maybe white shall just capture, exchange the queens, but bishop
Yeah.
b7.
Yeah,
And after bishop b7, how they are going to protect this pawn on d5?
yeah, it's not easy.
It's not that
See,
easy.
what I don't like about
Maybe just rook b3 might be possible here.
yeah,
Just to pin the bishop, and rook c7
threatening
is a
bishop
threat
a6
now.
and all.
Also bishop a6 is a threat now. So, well,
Looks very dangerous again.
it does. It does.
So that's why he's thinking. You see, queen c6.
And he has only 14 minutes in the position in the game.
Yeah. This is really nice, isn't it?
It is. It is queen c6.
Queen
it's
c6
giving
looks-
so much
looks-
problems.
I was thinking that, there's no other way not to exchange the queen. Like queen b8 is one of my choices, but I was thinking that
So
queen
it's like too passive.
looks
But,
passive, yeah.
But maybe rook b3 here, yeah.
Yeah, rook b3 is crushing. Yeah, the idea is of rook b3 is.
Queen
So-
a7.
So why didn't he play rook b3 before? Because of queen d5, yeah.
Yeah.
So queen c6 is a really nice move, and I think black has to now trade on c6, and the ensuing play will be like white's rooks are swinging nicely, and his knight is very well placed on g5. You can see that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, shall we switch to the top game where we thought
Let's check it out. What happened there? So after knight d3, b3 was played.
b3 was played, then
followed by
rook
rook
e8,
eight
which
and
is what we were suggesting,
bishop d4,
and then
here
now
black
knight
played
b4.
knight b4,
And now the point is that if you go a3,
knight c6.
if you go a3, then there's knight c2.
Knight c2, right.
Yeah, bishop b2, bishop c5 check. That should be.
This looks good for the black. And if after b3, okay, knight b4, now a2 is hanging.
Yeah,
So-
you can't play a3 because,
Yeah.
you know, if he chases your bishop away from d4 and then that bishop comes alive, then it becomes a lot easier for black
if
to play.
a4, then the problem is that that you're weakening too many black squares.
Yeah, knight
And maybe
c6
knight
now, you know,
c6.
put more pressure on
Let's say
that.
bishop b2
And now bishop c5 check. I
bishop
kind of
c5.
prefer.
I can't even play knight a5. Okay, let's start with bishop
Yeah,
c5.
but first bishop c5 check.
King h1. Let's push the king further and maybe knight a5 here.
Yeah, I think white hasn't got anything there.
Knight d2 and bishop d4. Wow. Is black is winning a pawn,
What's the time control for white's got 24 minutes?
and black has
And-
42 minutes.
Yeah, I think black is comfortable here. We can say that, you know.
Well, black is not going to lose this game.
No, I don't
that's,
think he
that's
will.
for sure.
You know, we never know, but
We never know.
you know, it looks solid now.
We're already scared after
Yeah,
yesterday too.
after that unexpected game, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So we're scared to predict the future.
So can we have a look at how Adiban is doing? Has he managed to get some advantage?
I
or-
checked his game during the short visit to the playing hall, and I
Yeah.
saw that he's having a quite boring position, to be honest. Let's say knight g7, knight d7 was played, knight d2, knight c8, a3, captures, knight b6, b4, king e7. I saw this position on the board,
Yeah.
knight b3, rook c8. Slowly he's regrouping his pieces, king d2, h6, f4, a6, knight c5, a5. Well,
Yeah, this looks like.
and he has only 11 minutes on the board.
He's got 11 minutes, and what are the problems he's
But
facing?
rook c5 might be played now at some point.
Yeah.
Rook c5 is a move.
I don't see any issues for white, you know, that exchanging of that knight.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, him allowing that knight to c5. And it will be like two tough games now. He's in time pressure, and white is thinking here, and I don't see any good prospects for black here.
Yeah, how to improve the position, or where
Yeah.
to break through, or where
Yeah.
to create something that can happen. It's very hard.
Yeah. Now f6 break means nothing, you know.
Yeah, you don't even want to take on, even if you later try to play g5, white can just play g3, and it is going to be like,
Yeah.
not easy. Not easy in the
Not easy,
advanced
isn't it? 2 days tough matches.
game. Yeah,
and
he's facing tough
and
games.
facing
lately.
time pressure, which is
Yes.
not easy.
f6.
And he's one of the very highly rated grandmasters as well, isn't he?
Exactly, he's one of the
I
top
think,
numbers in the tournament.
I think that you know, any good grandmaster of 2600 plus, you know, can have a bad tournament, and looks like this is not his tournament.
Yeah. Well, we had a. Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
other game we can go in?
Let me check the game of board number 4. Okay, we have some improvement here, and after knight b1, knight e7, bishop c7 was played.
Yeah, I think he wants to eliminate the queen connecting to the d6.
Queen e8,
Queen
knight
e8
d2,
and then knight d2.
king g8, and knight b3. And
Yeah, this is what we were saying, isn't it? That
And he just played bishop a5 here. And
Yeah.
this d4 eventually is going to be hanging, no?
Yeah, looks very thing. And what have you gained with this h5, h4 move? Yes, the rook can come out to h6, but your main problem is the d4 pawn.
Yeah, what to play now? White just wants to capture the bishop.
Yeah, I
Queen
don't think
e5
he-
and
No, I don't think he wants. Bishop is not running anywhere, isn't it?
yeah, no, it's not.
So
I just want to win the pawn very fast, like knight
yeah, I
c5,
think
knight c5, queen
he's
e5.
got this nice move f4. F4 is coming.
Even.
Yeah. I think blacks is entangled and looks very, very tricky here.
Exactly. Do you think we shall go for another break to check the games?
Take another break and
Our last
let
break
some
probably,
more
and-
things develop,
yeah.
and
then we'll be back with some news, I think, already in the most interesting part. And don't go anywhere. You're following the round 7 of the Abu Dhabi Chess Festival. It's already 29th one. Abu Dhabi Chess Festival did a very long road to the 29th one, and see you soon. We're following the round 7. Don't go anywhere. The games are just getting more and more interesting.
more interesting, and I think you got time pressure there playing a big role.
Time pressure will be most fun to watch.
Most fun, yeah.
See you. Welcome back, everyone, and we are continuing the 7th round of the Abu Dhabi Chess Festival with the international master Ravi Kumar. And let's see if something's changed. Actually, I saw some moves were done on the first board.
Yeah.
Night before, White played Bishop f2.
Yeah, I think what he's probably saying is that knight a2 is not possible because of rook a1
Exactly.
and that.
And
And it was important for the bishop to remain on that diagonal.
yes.
And I think that also opens up, like if the knight went to c6, it can be like rook c1, and also that White recognizes that nothing is going to happen on the f file.
Yes. So a6 was played after. The idea is
Yeah.
that now White Black is threatening to capture.
Yeah,
a2
threatening to
and then
take
come back.
and also not to play a5,
Yeah.
but a6, and now I believe that a3, knight d3 looks more tempting for me.
So White played rook a1.
Rook
Let's
a1.
check if a3, knight
Knight
d3,
d3.
and now this is hanging, and
Yeah, that's why he played rook a1.
yeah. So rook a1 was played, and now it's Black to play, and Black is thinking for now. What to play? Does knight d3 work now, or bishop d4 will be played?
See,
and-
ideally the black king would like to step forward, but the moment it steps forward, king f7 now, with the idea of king e6, I think there's knight g5 check.
Knight g5 is always coming, yes.
Yeah, and then king g6. It looks interesting for me that he might now need to get his king up.
I was thinking somehow to, let's say, occupy this d4 square, protect it,
Yeah.
and then play knight d3. Because let's say it's White to play the next move. What is going to be the White's next move?
See, White is basically playing a waiting game. He can't move the rook on a1.
Yep.
He doesn't want to create weaknesses, and
How can Black press here?
as I said, king f7 looks like an idea to activate the king.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We have a move. h6 was played.
Yeah, because he doesn't want that knight g5, and he's preparing king f7, king e6.
Exactly. Prophylactical move. h6 was played, and now
Yeah, after rook a1, h6, king f1, finally the king starts coming in, and now the plan that we were talking about, king f7,
yeah.
and with the idea of king coming to e6. So this was the standard plan. Which other piece can black improve, and
Both of them actually. None of them can move any of the pieces.
yeah,
So it's going to be.
and
the
then
king.
h3 was played. I don't understand the motivation, and now of course c5. I think now the
c5.
d4.
This was my idea. Always to play c5.
Yeah.
Trying to bring the knight to d3. D4 is protected. The bishop d4 becomes impossible.
Okay.
Bring the knight to d3 and then attack the pawn on e5.
Yeah, even you've got another plan here. Put the king on e6, put the rook on d8, bring the bishop out to e7. You are the one dictating everything, and I think the risk that he took is obviously he's getting some reward out of this. Nothing like winning, and as you said, comfortably half-point lead into
Yeah.
the penultimate round.
By the way, I during our break I met Adiban, and I was like, "How did it happen?" He said, "I actually saw that line, but somehow I overthought and I forgot about it. And then I played bishop c4. He played queen a5, and I couldn't believe for a while.
Yeah.
But he said I'm okay. So today he finished his game
Yeah.
draw, and yeah, he's gonna recover soon. I hope.
Yeah, he's far too experienced. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I believe if you look at his grading chart, he's the one. I know him as an youngster, and then he went up to get a lot of things. And I don't know whether you know some of these Indian players, or
I know Adiban.
are employed by some oil companies in
Yeah.
India, so they get like free time to go and play tournaments and achieve some success for them. And that is the motivation of many players. They want to get a job, and when you retired, then you still have a nice job to
Yeah.
do it. And
So Adiban is working now also.
it's like a scholarship
Yeah.
where he can go to tournaments and they will help him with because he's more than 2600 he hit.
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll be back to this game, I guess. Black has a very
Black
serious
is
threat.
can we say that Black is the one looking?
Absolutely. I think it's a two-result game. It's either draw or Black will win.
Yeah, I think Black is going to squeeze every little bit from this game, isn't it?
He already. Oh yeah, Fedosiev is going for every single opportunity in this
Yeah.
game to get the point. He's not gonna let this game go so easily. And White has to fight. On the board 3, by the way, Artemiev, he has a big time advantage, and Black is already in the time trouble. It's only the move number 18, and after knight d2, we remember we exchanged the rooks, knight b3, and queen a7 was played. Probably Black wants to play after.
Yeah, keep the option of b6, you know.
So knight c5 was played. White is ready to sacrifice the pawn. Black didn't take it. But let's check very quickly what will happen if Black tries to capture this pawn. Queen c5 and bishop e3?
Yeah, I think this is...
Even bishop h6 is possible. I don't know. Bishop h6
I think
might
bishop
be possible.
h6 is castles, isn't it?
Huh?
Bishop h6 he can castle and then you got queen
If
g4.
castle, then I wanted to play queen
Queen
g4,
G4,
trying
yeah,
to grab an
yeah,
exchange.
yeah.
But bishop h6, maybe the only move would be
Yeah.
queen f8.
Yeah, but this is
And maybe
this
just
pawn up
succeed here.
is White is the one who's dominating everything, you know.
Yes.
He's not going to get his rook out in any time, you know, today.
It's not happening today, right?
It's not happening today. So I think that you know that when he kicked b6, he should give up castling, which is what he did very correctly, and I feel that
And king d8 was played.
yeah. And then
I think bishop g5 was played in this position. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Yeah, bishop g5 was played.
so after b6, knight went to d3. After b6, queen a4 check is what we
Yes.
said. King
King
d8,
d8.
bishop g5 check, king c7, very boldly going.
Rook c1 and knight
Yeah,
d7.
I don't know.
probably, right?
Queen e8 is something or not something. No, I probably nothing. Probably nothing. Probably nothing.
Let's check it out.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know. Nothing is happening.
Yeah,
I
nothing
know.
is happening. Okay, so king c7. Then what was played? Knight to d3.
Yeah, knight to d3 and
Threatening
then
rook c1, and
Yeah.
Black played here king b8,
yeah.
rook c1, and bishop d7. And what is this position?
I think that queen c2. You know, there's threat of bishop d8 at the right moment. So I think now queen c2 needs to be played. And bishop d8, how is he going to stop bishop d8?
And the problem is that this bishop has no square
Not
to go out.
working at all. And
Yeah,
queen c2 now.
queen c2, and
I'm threatening bishop d8, bishop c7. How do you stop it?
but what happens after bishop c7?
Yeah, he hasn't got many things happening here,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Black cannot do anything. Black just has to wait here.
Yeah, maybe he has to go, I don't know. Yeah, this looks very, very tricky because my plan is bishop d8, bishop c7 check, put the bishop on d6 and disrupt that, but I don't know. And, you know, he doesn't have any good squares.
Yeah.
And if he does h6, I go bishop d8. So
Okay, let's say h6, bishop d8. I try to go out with my bishop. I play g5.
no, this is quite
So,
you know.
I understand, but I still have to try to get this bishop out. because
Absolutely, I agree. So bishop c7 check.
Maybe queen c7, rook c7 might be an idea.
Yeah, queen c7. No, but
Okay, bishop c7. Let's say I play here king b7.
and there's nothing, Queen b3, bishop b5. So maybe he's
Queen
okay.
b3 trying to play knight c5, but
Yeah.
it's not also going to give much, I guess.
So we can also point out the obvious that bishop d6 is not working because bishop takes d6, e takes d6,
And rook c8.
and rook c8.
But what to do? How to improve the position here? Like, let's
Yeah,
say.
but you have knight e5 at the right moment, so it's quite tricky here.
Yeah, but is this all white can get out of this position?
Yeah.
Let's say this is our position, right? Queen c2 and here it
I
is
don't
black
think
to
you
play.
should play at 6, but bishop d8 is coming, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Is there an idea like to change the sides of queen and the rook, play bishop d8 and put the rook on c7?
Yeah, that's also is possible, but I think white wants to dwell a bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe he just plays b3 and a4.
Maybe. But black doesn't have a move. Black is in Zugzwang.
Yeah, maybe this is the first tough game for him.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll come back to this game because we can definitely say that sometimes when you have this kind of a position and you're playing with the white pieces and your opponent doesn't have enough time and you have nothing to rush because black doesn't have any
he's
place
down
to
to
go
2
out.
minutes, you see, that's what he's
Yeah.
thinking. It's even...
You don't need to go
So-
for some fast decisions. You can just slowly improve the position of your pieces, and then when the time comes, you will hit however you need to hit, right?
Yeah, and I mean that game that strangely after rook d1, king b8, queen c2 was not played. I don't know what's the... I think he's gone queen d1
Queen
and he
D1
wants to
was
now
played.
explore the weakness of f7 possibly.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
But our plan looked good, isn't it? Queen c2, bishop d8.
Yeah. It's
Maybe-
very hard to play for black now. It's,
Yeah, there's not many moves now.
Yeah, it's this kind of.
So at 6
positions
is
are-
bishop d8. Oh, okay, maybe that's the point.
Bishop d8, rook c7.
At 6,
exactly.
bishop d8 and rook c7, you got nothing left.
Yeah.
Maybe this is already winning for white, isn't it?
But Artemiev, after his loss again, the round 3, he started playing a very good chess. Like he recovered his shape probably, and yeah, well.
So
queen
bishop
d1.
b5 played here.
Bishop b5 was played here.
Bishop b5 played here, and I think for bishop d8, maybe bishop d6 is a move. I don't know, or even bishop c4 here first, and I see the point that bishop d8 is queen d7, and then that bishop c7 check is king b7, and then that bishop is trapped. So
Yeah.
so maybe he's... So that's why, we were negotiating queen c2,
Yeah.
because then the bishop can't move at all.
Bishop b5 is not.
Could we show
happening.
that to the viewers why what we were thinking is quite good there,
Of course,
isn't
we
it?
wanted to play instead of queen d1, queen c2.
Queen c2, yeah, because now I'm paralyzing the bishop, and I'm saying my plan is bd8, bc7 check,
Yes.
or bd8, queen c7 check, as you said.
Mm-hmm. It's not easy. It's not easy for black, but still, even after queen d1, bishop b5, and what's next? I mean,
Yeah,
well, I cannot move the knight because bishop b4 might be possible, and
Yeah.
somehow black's pieces might be going out. I'm not saying they are definitely going out, but might be. But knight f4 is also impossible because there's h6.
yeah, 6, yeah, and then
But there's
bishop
bishop
d8.
d8, and after bishop d8 maybe.
No,
just
queen d7 first,
Queen
no, you
d7.
can't go queen d7, bishop
b6 is
b6.
hanging. Yes.
Yeah, and now that
Maybe
rook
I
c...
just need to play some move.
No, maybe you have to play bishop b4 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that...
I don't have bishop c7 check or rook c7.
Yeah.
maybe. Rook c7.
Yeah, rook c7, queen a8.
Queen a8, and white might get losing.
Yeah, there's something...
White is losing here.
Yeah. So it's pretty complicated, and I think that's why I think queen c2 was the move. I don't see the point of queen d1.
Well, maybe he would, as you mentioned, he wanted to bring the queen to the king side, attacking some pawns. But well, so queen d1, bishop e5. This is the position, and of course, black will try to exchange some pieces. It's only a favor for them because they don't have space.
But I think his principal problem is the bishop on f8. So he is now waiting to push at queen d7, which cuts out bishop d8. Then he can regroup in a much better way.
Yeah.
So the black's move is queen d7.
Queen d7 is the next move. Well, if there is a little chance for the black to go out in this position with his pieces, I'm sure he's gonna use any opportunity.
And the thing I'm a bit worried is that he just got 2 minutes to play this move.
That's the hardest part. But sometimes when you have a lost position, it's good to put yourself in a time trouble.
Yeah.
Because it makes also your opponent a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, every game he's been like this in this tournament, 5 seconds left, 10 seconds left. And I think
then he
he's
tricked, right?
How many moves for him to get the 30 minutes?
He's not getting 30 minutes.
Oh, he's not getting.
We don't have 30 minutes after 4.
So it's just going to be this pressure.
It's just going to be this pressure till the end of the game. It's stressful. It takes more energy than you need to be spending.
Yeah.
But by the way, we have a result on the board number 9 where Hans Niemann won the game. In this position, he took knight d5.
Oh no!
He wasn't scared, and white took queen b3. But what was wrong with the bishop f3? This is the main question that we had. Maybe just queen c6.
Maybe just queen into c6 and bishop e6, I think, something like that.
Yeah, can be. So after queen b7, black captured bishop b7, rook b3. Well, after queen b7, I feel like rook a7 and bishop f3 now, threatening rook b7 and capturing the knight on d5. Rook d4 was played to protect the knight. h4.
Yeah.
King g7, a4. Do you think white is pushing a little bit too hard with this?
Yeah, I think
white.
You see, white's got black's pieces in a bind, but the black. See, the main thing for the black is that he's going to get his bishop to the right square.
Yeah.
That's his prerogative, and he doesn't want to give for that. But so that looks quite.
Yeah. But a4, rook h4. White lost one pawn. But the rook b7 here, he's losing another pawn, and a4 became a weakness. Maybe white pushed a little
No,
too
but this
hard.
is now also threatening rook d2, bishop g5.
Exactly. So rook c7 was played, and rook d2. Okay, but could white played anything else rather than rook c7?
No,
Maybe
but this
bishop
already looking
bad, right? After bishop
looking
e3,
very
let's
intense.
say.
See, can we highlight the bishop on d2, bishop on d5, knight on g5? Everything is kind of precariously placed.
Okay, the chat is telling us that the engine said that black had an advantage all the way back to the opening, which is surprising.
Which is really surprising, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, okay, with the engine it's easy to see, but when you're a human being and everything is so complicated, from the side it's not easy to see. But when you are playing the game yourself, you feel the position way better than people will see it from the side, and I feel like this is a big plus.
Yeah.
Maybe they had the right evaluation during the game, and it's hard for us to get it.
I think from what I could see is there's a big surprise in game number 3, which we were looking, and white did play bishop d8 and bishop c5, the surprise one.
Well, after this, black is completely
blank.
Let's go to the game number 3.
Yeah. I think
against
the bishop d8 was played very late, I would have thought. And
let's just start again what happened here.
Yeah.
Because we still don't have the moves in the...
I can...
Yeah.
Okay. I have some of the moves here for you, if you prefer.
It was played rook c1, king b8, and queen d1, bishop b5.
Queen d1.
And bishop c5. Of course, black is trying to exchange some pieces.
Bishop d8, bishop c5. And I think that this is changing many things, because d into c5 is rook into d8. And this is black's freed himself, isn't it?
Yeah. We also have another result actually in the Matlakovsky.
Yeah, sure, we'll go to that because this
But
is...
bishop c5, let's check it out. What will happen now? This is our current position, right?
Yeah, our current position, bishop c5. And the point is that if knight c5, then
Rook d8.
rook d8, and then everything looks good for black. And if d into c5, rook into d8, and then c6, probably queen c7, and that pawn will be in trouble.
So can we say that bishop d8 was a bad move here?
But maybe he had bishop c5 all along. So can we, in our line, we excluded bishop c5, didn't we? We said that when the queen was on c2. Okay, the point...
But the problem was that in the other line, let's say...
bishop would never come to b5.
Let's say here, okay, bishop d7, rook c1. Let me just go back to the other line that we were checking with the queen c2, right? Let's say h6, bishop d8. The problem is that if you play here bishop c5, I can just capture, and after rook d8, I have knight a6 move.
Yeah.
If queen a6, I can
queen
just play
c7.
queen c7, and so this is a little bit different.
So, and...
okay, the chat is asking if maybe after this line, white can just play bishop c7.
Yeah,
forcing one of the pieces to come to the c file, like let's say queen captures, and to try and to pin the bishop on the c file. Maybe
with b4.
Yeah.
The problem with this is that yes, you will win a pawn here, but.
But was it worth it after such a squeezed position? Black's pieces. Black will happily give up this one pawn just to keep his pieces out in the game.
Yeah, you're getting a really nice suggestion there. So queen c7, and then now you're saying that your knight is staying on c5, and
white wants to take the bishop.
So bishop c7 check.
Black will have to capture, apparently.
Yeah. He could play king a8, but I don't know if that's any good. But then, so I think that so even I'm quite intrigued with the move bishop h4. Now he's got to go bishop f8. He's going to take on
d4.
Yeah, he's taking on d4.
Knight c5 was played.
Yeah. So that was a good suggestion. Well done.
It was very nice. Even yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So knight c5 was played, and the point that he's making is that after rook takes d8, I think the knight will come back to b3.
Knight comes back to b3, and now queen h5 might be a threat because black is black in time to bring the pieces back to protect both flanks, and does white have enough pieces to attack both flanks? This is the question. Because queen h5 is a real threat, the pawns might get weaker, but...
But the point I'm seeing is that you don't have any more entries, so maybe I can play queen e7 and then queen h5, just h6.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying queen b4, but a5 is in my cards. But
is there opportunity to play after rook d8, maybe a4? Can I just play a4 here?
Yeah, a4 also you could play.
I'm trying to explode the king, because if the bishop goes back, let's say
e8,
then I will play knight d3.
Yeah.
So
but
this is
now
different.
queen e7, you know, if
queen
you got no threats
b3.
on. Okay, and then king b7.
After king b7, well, I will not.
Oh, you got knight c5 check. King a7.
Maybe I will not be attracted to knight c5, but okay, let's say king a7, and can white do something here, or not really? Can I just play rook c3? I want to play queen c2.
Yeah, this looks like you're having a lot of, you know, me having a lot the bishop. You're having all the.
Is there a move after a4? Maybe other move. Like my idea is that if black captures the knight, I want to take the bishop.
Yeah.
Well, if the pawn captures, then I just
that's
pawn,
clearly better for you.
That's different story. But let's say if I capture and you try to play capture the pawn on d4,
Yeah.
maybe I might have like this move, and I don't know what is happening, but all I can see is that black's king is exploded.
Yeah.
And what happens next? So maybe there is a4.
Yeah. Okay,
Well,
so
what was
this
played
is left in a very interesting situation.
Okay, let's leave this and check what happened on the board number 8, because Matlakov won the game. He managed to convert his extra pawn advantage to a win. So bishop c2 was played.
Okay, that's
bishop
what we
d5.
were saying, weren't we? We were saying that.
Bishop b3, rook c8, and
you all heard it here first.
we were here to say it.
Yeah.
And then he exchanged one of the rooks.
Yeah.
And then he wants to exchange another rook. Of
Because
course,
he's a
exchanging-
pawn up, I mean, this is.
And it's not just a pawn; it's a pawn that wants
The
to
H
go.
pawn
Yeah.
is going down in a big way, and I think that f4, king f2, g4, h4 is all looking
And
very,
black
very
played here
system.
rook a8. But this is too passive, right? I mean, okay, the rook. Black doesn't want to exchange the rooks, but
Yeah.
why to take the rook to a8?
But maybe he's saying that you have nothing.
Yeah, he's like, okay, play whatever you want, like. But f3,
Yeah.
very nice. a5, king f2. The king comes to the game. Rook h8 was played now,
Yeah.
and h3. White is putting the pawns on the white squares. a4
Yeah.
and bishop c2.
C2, yeah.
No one is attacking c4 yet. Rook h4 and bishop e4. He's ready to give up this pawn.
But then there's rook
Oh,
d4.
there is rook d4. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Is there f5? No. I will
F5
calculate
also
rook
is
d7.
fe4 and
Yeah.
king e3 is there.
So he transformed the game into the rook endgame with extra pawn.
Yeah, king e2, well played. Yeah, this is like showing a student how to play the rook endgame, isn't
This
it?
is this
Very
endgame.
systematic.
This endgame, I think Matlakov played very high level. Like the technique, everything, from which position, the transformations of the endgames and everything. It was
Yeah.
rook c4 and b5. I saw this position on the chessboard, and just rook c1, and white has the passed pawn.
And two pass pawns actually.
Two
G4,
passed pawns,
H5.
yes. And
So so he's going h6 there, and then h7, and then
the other pawn will come. Oh, check just to push the king away.
yeah, and then you see the white king is going to
Yeah,
control
yeah,
his
yeah.
pawn, and then this is
and
completely
then
lost.
the pawn is coming. But okay,
Very,
the
very
game is
nicely
still
played.
continuing in the tournament, but white won in this position.
Okay, looks
Which
like
is very-
white is
yeah.
doing.
And the black
know.
played king d4 here, followed by king d2. Of course, we have to stop
Yeah.
this pawn. E5, c6,
Yeah, why not?
b2, and just the king is stopping the pawn.
Yeah,
And king d5 was played, and after rook h6,
Yeah.
f6, g4, black just resigned here
Yeah.
because black
yeah
is
there's
losing
g5,
also.
g6, g7 is
Yeah,
coming.
it's just gonna be
Very,
easy.
very nice play by white.
White played very nice. He grabbed the pawn, exchanged the queens, went to the endgame,
Yeah,
slowly got rid of the one rook,
yeah.
and then he got rid of the bishop, and the rook endgame, technically, he just
Yeah.
won the game.
I think
Nicely played.
most commentators would say this is technique, isn't it?
This technique is
Yeah, just
high
that
level,
you know
yeah.
he's playing very careful chess,
Very
and
nice
does the
chess.
win push him up to the top?
It looks like I think he was one of the players who had 4.5 points. Okay.
And I think that
Shall we check what is happening on the first board? Okay. Let's see. So on the first board we have some moves. So king f7, h3, c5, a3 was played, knight c6, and rook e1. So why not knight d3 here? Maybe just
I
bishop
think-
g3.
no, bishop g3, just holding
Yeah,
on to
yeah.
it. I think.
So knight c6 was played.
Yeah, because I think he feels very comfortable with the c6,
Yeah.
and now I think king e6 is definitely looking very nice.
Okay. No checks on the king for
Yes,
the
that was the point, wasn't it? That
The
he
checks.
he prepared it such in a nice way that that's what is happening there.
Exactly. He just took all the squares where the king can be checked, and b4 was played, of course. And white was ready to sacrifice one pawn, or it's not a sacrifice. King
But he had
d5.
no activity. He had to do before.
Yeah. bishop b4 and bishop b6, and black has a passed pawn now.
Yeah.
The game is
But-
going so fast because bishop d4, and we have this position, but I can see in the live board that a lot of things happened here,
Yeah.
and we'll be back to this game because
Yeah, there's so much happening here that
so
you know,
much happened in the actual game of
Yeah.
between the players. I don't want to show it now. We'll come
Yeah,
back
we'll
to it.
we'll come back to it. Let's go to the next game where
Artemiev, what happened in the Artemiev? Did he play or not really? No, basically, okay, we just got to this position in the live. Okay, let's move to the board number 4
yeah.
to see what is happening here. Anton Guerrero. Okay, we missed a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
So bishop c7 and knight
Yeah.
d2 and knight b3
Yeah.
and bishop a5. We stopped at this moment. Knight g6,
Yeah.
knight c5 takes, and queen d6.
Yeah. And
Why
now that
just-
pawn is in trouble.
White just wins a.
Yeah.
Black is trying to save the pawn on any cost, but okay,
Yeah.
it's impossible. Knight f4, queen d2, g5 was played.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
I think with hindsight you can see that black is, I don't know what is black getting out of it, but
yeah.
it looked like
But this might be, it is sometimes, as we were talking also yesterday, sometimes a faster game with some chances to stay alive is better than the slow death.
yeah, sure,
And here black is definitely choosing to put some
to play active
complications.
chess. Where
yeah.
is, see, the point is it that where is he going to put the rook on h8?
G7.
So you are looking for attack all the time. Yeah. So I think he's playing a little bit of dark square strategy. The knight is
Yeah.
pretty strong on f4. There's no g3, but I think my thing is that white's controlling the d file very nicely, and
Pawn up.
and I think what I feel here is that at the right time the bishop will drop back to f1, and then g3 is possible. You see,
Yeah.
so
Everything will be protected there.
Yeah.
By the way, Ruki just joined our chat, and he's the one who is always asking to check Divya's game.
Yeah.
But I checked in Divya's game; it was very solid and equal game. I don't know what happened there now, but yeah. So, do we have any moves here? I think everything is just gonna go happening very fast from here. Shall we go to the board number? We have some moves actually in the live.
Yeah.
Queen f6, and it was played c3,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what we were saying.
king g7,
And then is he dropping the bishop to f1?
played queen
No, queen
E3.
e3, okay.
queen e5,
Yeah, queen e5, and then bishop f1.
and then rook d7,
Yeah, okay.
rook d8, and rook d1.
Yeah.
Captures, and well, I think we can stop here because we don't want to rush the things too much.
But at least the rook is very active on d7, and I think ultimate plan for white is to drop the bishop back to f1 and then hit the knight with g3. But at the moment he's doing great. He's controlling the open file. There's nothing.
Yeah, definitely. The youngsters are playing a good chess in this tournament.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned, he might be making a GM norm in this tournament. So, yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
And Anton chose this move, King F8,
Yeah.
in the opening, and yeah. Well, shall we go to board number 5 to see what happened here after
It was
No,
the
black
interesting
captured.
f takes e4. Yeah.
knight d3, white captures c6, and knight b4. And white sacrificed the exchange.
Yeah, he had to. I think.
He had to,
I think
yeah.
everything was in the air. Everything was in the air. The c3. And
So,
I think he's got some compensation for the exchange, the c6 pawn is pretty strong, but I think here black should be able to do that, and the b4 is under attack as well. So what I'm thinking is that the knight on d2, knight on e4, bishop on g2, all very well placed, and
You're absolutely right. And all the pieces are playing together for the white. Like all the pieces are, in the harmony, cooperating.
working very nicely.
Rook d4 was played.
Yeah, knight b3, and now rook d5, and then he loses the pawn, but
Oh, he gave the c6 pawn away. And
yeah, he
c2.
gave the c6 pawn, but I think black is now really pressing this in a very big way.
Yeah, after taking the c6 pawn, looks like the advantage became.
Yeah, I think it's opened the gates for his
more and more.
more and more pieces to come out.
Yeah. Well.
So there's some improvement in. There is some improvement in
first board
in the game between Ratnavale and that. I think the time pressure is there. We could go and have a look at it.
Artemia, right?
Because when we left it, it was very thin. So for bishop c5, this is where we left, and white played knight takes c5.
Yes.
Okay.
This is the live position that we have
rook
right now.
d8, knight b3.
Knight b3. He didn't go for a4.
Yeah, he didn't go for a4 and knight d3, which I think is marginally better. And now Ratnavale played bishop a4, pinning and getting rid of the troublesome knight. Queen g4.
White is trying to create some attacks on the pawns.
And then just rook g8, just holding on to everything.
Yes.
And I think that after h4, queen e7, everything, he's regrouping his pieces.
Yeah.
He wants queen b4, and then rook c3, g6, and queen f4, h5, rook c6, king b7.
The game is going so fast.
Yeah, and then now queen c1, threatening to do some. It's nothing.
But white let the advantage go. White had a nice advantage, and the advantage is gone. The time is equal, and yeah.
So after queen d7, rook d6, queen c7, queen f4.
White is trying to push.
Yeah, and now they are repeating position because you see that the rook on d6 is kind of trapped.
Yeah, where is
so
it going to go?
I think
if black doesn't lose this pawn on f7, which he's not going to do, then
no, I think that once you allow rook c8, I think black is going to be there. That's why I think some repetition of moves is going to happen.
But rook c8 is not possible after queen c1.
Yeah, queen c1. Rook c8.
Rook b6. There is rook b6, right?
There is rook b6. Yeah, he can't do that, but he goes queen c7. He goes queen c7.
What happened here? This is what happened in the game.
So I will tell you that after queen e7, he played queen c1.
Yeah,
and he played rook c8, which was a mistake.
Basically, the black is capturing the h4, but the player with the black pieces has a lot of ambitions, we can say, right?
Yeah, he's very ambitious, and he's thinking that d4 will go now.
Yeah.
And there is a perpetual all the time. But why did he play rook c8? Queen c7 was.
He decided to go for the fighting game and didn't agree to settle for less for a draw. But I mean, he was holding the whole position, the whole game. He was trying to hold it, and then he got this situation where he could take his draw, but he didn't go for it.
So I think we had a couple more moves there. After that, we had queen b8 check, king c6,
and queen a7.
Queen a7, and now I think it's looking like there is trouble for him.
Was it worth it? That's the question. I mean, okay, if you have a draw, you can just take your draw, right? After holding this kind of a position.
Yeah, I think he can play queen f4, a5 now. He can play a5 now, and queen a5 is queen d4.
Maybe queen f7.
Yeah, maybe queen,
Queen
f7.
f7, queen e6, and
Yeah, that's all looking
it
very,
might be-
very unpleasant for him.
especially when both of you have like
Why-
so
why-
much less time.
Yeah,
It's
why?
like-
He's playing 26-98. Why didn't he have a draw?
yeah, that's the whole point. It's like, yeah, that was what was happening in the game, a5 and queen f7. But okay, I mean, you're playing against someone who has 200 ratings more than you.
Yeah,
And
queen
he's
d4.
already
I think
repeating
is
the
very, very.
position.
Queen f7 is very risky now. I think he will play queen g4 now. I think this
But
is
queen
forced.
g4, I can just play queen a7 back.
Yeah. This
But what is the threat of the
I
black?
don't know. Why risk it up? And he's gone
Yeah.
queen a7. He's gone a5. Queen f7 is just one pawn up. Yes, he did play queen g4.
And queen e8 check.
Yeah, because
But-
that pawn up is nothing. You see, he's going to put his queen on f5.
Yeah, but this is how you become a good chess player. Draw for you is a king
Yeah,
against
but,
king.
but I think that this guy is very ambitious. Again, you look, he's going down to 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah, with the pawn down now. And okay,
Yeah.
it's a double pawns, but if you have an easy draw, why not to take it? And
Yeah, I should
just
have
move
forced
on?
the
It's
draw.
like,
I mean,
yeah.
sometimes these youngsters just want to,
Well, but that's how they become a good chess players.
yeah. But I
Because
think
they need to play.
there might be that might be a difficult lesson if he loses this game, because it looks like he's got nothing left, and the
He has
white
to
queen.
go through the difficult lessons also,
Yeah.
I think, to become a good chess player also. But maybe white is just repeating now. It's like, okay, I don't want to go through this.
Yeah, we'll see what happens anyway.
He's an experienced chess player,
Yeah,
He might be like, I just don't want it, but
yeah, but queen c7. Why complicate stuff?
yeah.
Queen c7 was a draw. I think he didn't see rook, that rook takes b6. I think that's the point.
Ambitions. It's.
But he didn't see rook b6. Otherwise, he would play.
I mean, okay, when you have time to calculate, evaluate the position
Yeah.
right in the end. Then you're ready to go for this. But when you don't have time, you don't know what is happening on the chessboard, then it's not that easy.
I think this position is, unless he find a perpetual, it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
But maybe he feels that the queen on f5, he's got something there, and so we go back to the other game. Any result is there?
Pranav won his game on the board number
Oh,
5.
he won against.
Yeah. Black won. So basically what happened here, we were saying that white is pushing a lot the whole game, right?
Yeah.
But after queen d2, this is where we stopped. Queen c5 was played.
Yeah,
Queen e1 check.
yeah,
Bishop f1.
yeah.
And it followed by bishop e6. Bishop h3 is a threat now with a checkmate. g4, stopping bishop h3, and queen d1. h3 was played, and bishop d5,
Oh no, queen f3 is coming.
queen e3, and bishop c6. Queen d5 is coming now. Queen d3, queen e1, and it says that black won here.
Yeah, because you can't play queen e3 again. The rook,
Yeah, the
rook
rook is
is under
hanging.
attack.
Can I play? Oh, I don't
You
even
have no
rook
rook b2
b2.
now. No.
Wow. Black nicely. Aravind won his game, and black nicely tricked white. After such a game where nice fight by black player. Aravind managed to show that
Yeah.
with the sacrifice of an exchange, and everything was done nicely. Because if he didn't sacrifice this exchange, after moving the rook for 7 moves,
Yeah.
he wouldn't get the chances. And
No. This is just a good display. Good.
one more time, slow death is a slow death, but sometimes you can die faster, but try harder. And okay. Actually, black was forcing the whole game to win the game, and nicely done.
Yeah, really nicely
After
done.
c6,
and,
capturing
yeah.
c6, it was like already everything was quite clear.
And did board number 1 any result? Did
We have a big game happening on the board number 1. To be honest, yet we have a rook end game.
yeah?
But I'm not sure if we have it in this position. So knight d4 was played,
Okay.
captures, king d5,
Yeah.
knight c2, and then they go to the rook end game.
And then with this extra pawn, it has to
This
be
extra
dangerous,
pawn,
isn't
rook
it?
d7, and yeah, white cannot basically capture on g7 because the
Yeah,
pawn is
b3,
going to
b2.
queen,
So it has to go king,
king
b2,
d2, b3,
king c1, b2, king b1, and now g5.
and now g5. The thing is that white can never capture this pawn
Yeah.
because the king is too close to
The
this
black
pawn.
king, if allowed, will go to f4 and g3. So that's why
Yes.
rook d3 has to be played, I think.
Rook
or
f7.
rook f7 is played.
Stopping king f4, rook b6, and rook f3. So
Yeah.
and king e4. Here is the question:
Yeah.
can black win this rook end game or no?
I think that
Has to be winning, of course. Absolutely, it has to be.
yeah,
winning.
I think first play h5 and then g4 maybe, and then disturb that rook. But again, there's no entry for the king, so
Maybe there will be some idea, to play like rook d6, give up the pawn on b2, rook d2 check, and take on g2.
yeah, that's also possible. Yeah, so he went rook f8. and
rook
the-
f8, yeah. Well, we don't have any result there yet.
So this looks like a long drawn battle, isn't it, today?
The first board?
Yeah, the first
I think
board is
Fedosey will manage to win this game. I still have a feeling of it.
yeah, I think even this rook endgame, there's no easy win. But he allowed king e3. Maybe he's okay. King e3, king.
Yeah,
King-
first I will play king e3. Or I don't need to. Can I just play rook d6 here?
Yeah, that looks quite menacing as well, isn't it? But I think that white rook is planning to attack the h6 pawn.
How?
So when you go rook d2, rook g2, that's what he's.
Then I will play king f4.
Yeah, not now, but I know that is his plan. That when you
Yeah.
go for that, so this looks. Oh, okay. I can even play g4 now.
Maybe rook f2 is supposed
Yeah,
to
rook
be
f2
good.
is equally good.
Yeah. King e3, and there is always rook f3.
Yeah, rook f3 check.
But he needs to find a way to somehow do it. Rook f8, and now it is black thinking.
Okay, let's go to the other game.
Artemiev,
It,
right?
it looks like that Grandmasters now has emerged with an extra pawn. He's not going to give this, and this is just that
Yeah.
one silly mistake.
He's not gonna just let it go.
Yeah,
just
because
like
he
that.
repeated twice. I don't know why he didn't.
Yeah, it's ambitions.
Yeah, not even ambition. I think he just didn't
ambitions.
see
What
in time
happened after
pressure.
queen b8?
After so he played.
Yeah, but sometimes it happens during the game, and
Yeah, he didn't. He just missed that rook d6 check. So after queen c8 check, where you are, and then he went queen c5 check.
no, I'm queen b8, queen
you
c6.
are
Yeah,
in-
king c6
sorry.
here. This is what happened in the game.
Yeah, queen b8 check, king c6,
Yeah.
queen c8 check, king b6, queen c5 check,
King
king a6, queen c6 check, king a7, queen c5 check, king a6, and now finally b4,
Yeah.
a b4, queen b4. This is black. Black. I don't see black escaping this. This is.
Yeah, Artemiev is not gonna just let it go.
Yeah.
With this extra pawn.
Yeah.
And if Ratanvel doesn't manage to save this game, but h4 was played with the idea
H4
of
and then
c3,
now I
but
think
queen c3 maybe just queen.
I think there's blunder king f1. We just have to, king, yeah.
King f1, queen d1.
I think now
checkmate.
king h2 is there, but then queen
Yeah.
f4 check and king.
So
yeah.
now he said he has to fight for a draw. That's the whole point. Maybe he will get
Yeah.
a draw, but
Yeah, but why?
why to complicate your life when you can just go with the?
Okay, so this is going to go for a long while, and then so the board number 1 is going to be a long struggle. Is there any other game that we could? There was a finish.
Here we're going to have a long struggle. I think white played queen a3, king b6, and queen b3 check. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, the king did a move. Any other game? Let's go to the board number 4. I'm pretty sure here we are far behind.
Yeah.
And on board number 4, what happened is after queen f6, white played c3, king g7.
Yeah, connecting
We
the
got to
rooks.
this position. Yeah, okay. They tried to connect the rooks, but then he had to
I
exchange
guess
the
rook
rooks.
b8 now. Okay.
And a6, rook enters to the b2.
Yeah,
I
that.
like black's position now, somehow.
Yeah, I
Still,
think,
even with the extra pawn on a4.
no, he's doing really.
Rook c3 was captured, now black is no longer pawn down. Okay,
No.
okay.
And the knight on f4 is
Knight f4 is
there,
a good,
and I think he went rook a3.
Yes, rook a3 was played in the game.
Yeah,
Only
and
1
now,
minute on the clock.
yeah. And I feel that you know that the previous game that we were discussing is going to go for a long time now. This I don't see any end in sight, but black I think somehow managed to keep the pressure in the center.
Yes.
Yeah, so
All the boards are still playing, I mean, except the second
Yeah.
board, we can say.
yeah. So it's yeah, and finally
Bishop c4
now.
probably. Looks like black is a little bit pushing, but
Yeah.
I think it looks like a draw.
Okay. Looks like an eventful day today, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
looks like
and,
a draw.
and I feel that I think
But
now,
white had some advantage, and actually after this move g5, everything just changed so
Yeah.
fast, and yeah,
Mhm.
wow, okay.
Yeah, I think it was you know, eventful day, but long play. You know, all the grandmasters trying to get every bit of thing.
Of course, it's the last 3
Yeah.
rounds happening
Yeah.
now, and well, Fedosiev is going for some. But is it easy? Maybe Artemiev will try, but then he will just end in a draw and, you know, just finish it. We have some draws here. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have quite some draws now. On the board 4, on the board 3, of course, Artemiev is trying to push. And even on the board 6, we can check it out. So what happened in this game is that king e7,
Yeah,
knight e3,
yeah,
bishop c4. We stopped
yeah.
here.
The bishops were exchanged. Yeah,
Yes, no, f5 yet, but of course it's going to be exchanged at some point. Rook d1, knight f6. Black
Yeah.
is somehow going
yeah.
up.
Black
and,
has somehow managed to get himself out of that trouble.
And white had to give up the h file also.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no fight for it. They exchanged quite a few pieces. Rook e1,
Yeah,
trying to use the fact that e5 is a weakness.
yeah.
Rook d8 and the rook d3. And what happened
that's-
here? No, this is just a. Yeah.
Some moves are
Yeah, yeah,
some
it's just-
moves are not played well.
Yeah.
But this is the final position.
G4
that-
takes.
yeah, this
They
is.
exchanged everything. Looks quite drawish for me. If black will not manage to
Yeah, I don't think he can.
get something. Maybe one of the sides might be pushing so hard and will
Yeah.
eventually lose the. It happens very often. Again, with the ambitions, one side is, let's say, it's drawish, and one side wants to push. Of course, it's the one that will try to push is white,
Yeah.
but tries to push so hard that eventually
Yeah.
does a mistake and loses. But
Yeah, it looks like, you know, grandmasters still
Yeah.
trying to grind down
actually,
small
they got to
advantages,
the
and
rook and the knight against the rook, and
Yeah.
well,
And-
it's gonna be a very long game.
so what's your take on the day? You know, how did you think? Okay, the quick draw was kind of expected when
On
I
the second board to
yeah,
same
I think
country
they
people.
just it's consolidation, isn't
Yeah.
it? And then board number 1, obviously, he's fighting whether he breaks through. You know,
Yeah. Board number 3, okay. Artemiev was pushing the whole game, but suddenly the young player, he managed to fight back, and he fought back not very bad.
Yeah,
And then he get a chance to take his draw.
It's not that easy to win this because black has got threats, and the black king is very active, and
Yeah, it's not very easy. Maybe he will still get his draw, and
yeah. So I think you can say it was a very eventful day, and
we can continue the first board.
Yeah.
But I still feel like
yeah.
black has a winning position, and he just has to transform it. Do you think the king is going to the wrong direction?
It looks like, what is he trying to do? I think what he's trying to do is to put the king on c4, and then but this looks like a draw.
If a few moves like this and black doesn't have any idea, then it's going to end in a draw.
No. So
yeah,
I think very tough battles today in all the games still going on, and
but I still feel black can try to win.
Yeah.
I mean, on the first board, because
he managed to get into that. Maybe we can show that to the.
It's gonna take a lot of moves. Trust me. It's better just to wait, and when they finish, we'll just go through faster. So what happened in the game, basically? Now they have a rook endgame, rook against pawn. Maybe we can see in the video what is happening. No, you cannot see the position very well.
Still fighting very well. So would you say that you've seen some really tough battles here today?
Yeah, today everybody were trying to give it all. We can say it.
Yeah.
Except the second word, but the rest were trying to give it all.
Yeah.
On all the boards.
So what's your prediction for tomorrow? What do you think is going to happen?
It depends from the first board what will happen.
I think as the person leading, has he played the second Chinese player? Maybe that would be a very interesting battle.
Only Fedosiev and Xiuxianju played each other.
Yeah.
And we can check in the chess results if we have some something happening there or not yet. Yeah, we have some results, and well, there is a chance that Fedosiev might play against Liu Shanglei, but it depends from the result of this game. And boards number 3 and 4 are still playing, and board number 6 we have results on the board, of course. 7, of course, also the board number 7 finished very fast draw. On the board number 6, most probably we're going to have a draw between Aryan Chopra and Atahan Aptin, and the rest is a story. We can say that by the way, Divya lost.
Divya lost today.
Yeah, Adiban drew his game. We have big fights on the main boards, actually. Board number 1, 3, and 4, and 6. On the board number 4, I feel like we're going to have a draw. We can see it, what is happening there, because, well, this is the position. But let's follow the first board, trying to see some ideas here, because everything is developing so fast.
Yeah. I think the time pressure is getting there.
Now the king will be back to f4.
Yeah.
Maybe. But before they get to f4, looks like the g3 will be played.
Yeah, I can give you the moves after it went king d5. Your rook is on a3. He played king d5.
Okay, and g3 followed.
He played king. Sorry.
Yeah, actually after so basically here in this position, can we see it? King d5 might be a bad move, because here what can white do? Black do? Black can play rook f5.
Yeah, that's quite tricky, isn't it?
And what can white play here now?
Yeah,
rook f5, and okay, if king b2, just check.
Yeah.
and then we grab one pawn.
Maybe he has to play g4 there, and that's what happened in the game.
And then it's gonna be very hard. So rook f5, but after king d5,
Yeah.
what was played in the game?
So after king d5, this is quite slow, my system. Okay, so after king d5, he played g3. He didn't want that to.
Yeah, now it's drawish.
So after g3, rook g3, king e6.
King e6, yes.
Yeah, rook f3, rook b8, rook a3, king f5.
This looked drawish already. But I don't know what white would do after rook f5.
I think he just can play rook a4 any minute, isn't it?
After rook f5, I will
Yeah.
give the check and take on g2 and then try
Yeah.
to take on g3 pawn. So I don't feel like...
Yeah, maybe he has to come rook f3.
Yeah.
And I think it's what's happening is he's not letting
It's
the
drawish.
king come
It's drawish
forward.
now.
So in this position where you said rook is on a3, he played
This is-
king f5, king e5. He played king f5, which
This
is the
is
same
not
idea.
the
And then now
position.
rook a6.
Okay, wait. King e5. What happened here?
No, he didn't go king e5. He went
He went king f5.
king f5. Yeah,
Okay.
I think king e5 is
And
interesting
rook
idea.
a6 was played.
Yeah,
and,
rook a6.
The king is not entering to take the pawn.
Yeah, I think you need a cutoff, isn't it? I think if you go rook h8, he's going to go rook b3 back in that position,
Yeah.
and
And the king will be very far to
Yeah.
stop this pawn.
so at the moment, what's happened is just to bring our viewers up to date. He played.
I'm on the position to play here with the white
No.
pieces. So rook f5 was basically.
No, I
finishing
think
the game.
he just goes g3 still. I think this is his way for him to get.
I have a nice move here. g4.
So g takes h4,
Rook f1 check.
king b2.
And after, yeah, okay, right.
Yeah, I think it's quite tricky.
Can I just play rook f3 here?
Yeah, you could, but
My next move is
I
king
got
b3.
I got rook a4 check. Then you go
No,
king
after
b3.
rook a4
Okay.
I play king b3 and...
Yeah, I think just now that's quite tricky. Yeah, no defense. I think you're going to take on h3, aren't you? With the pawn.
I might. I'm just waiting for the rook to leave. Okay, let's say if you play rook a8,
Yeah.
right?
GH3 is very strong
And then
because
g takes on h3 and you cannot
yeah,
stop
you
this pawn.
can't stop it.
So
Yeah,
rook f5 was actually, but rook f5 and g4, this is a very beautiful
yeah, g4
move.
is quite good.
After g3, one more time for our viewers, after g3, black can just play g4 and it's a pawn breakthrough. And if this pawn captures it, then I have a beautiful win here.
Yeah, rook f1 check, king
and the
b to
pawn is
h3.
just walking to a queen.
Yeah, it cannot be stopped. Yeah,
So rook f5 would be finishing the game, but
somehow
what happened in the game is that, well, we have this as our current position. Artemiev is still struggling to manage to win the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's that easy here.
It's not easy at all because the king is not in the best situation, we can say, and
Yeah,
our
the
position,
black
yeah.
king is kind
This
of.
might be drawish. Black
Looks
tried,
drawish,
but
yeah.
looks like this is going to end in a draw. And on the board number 6, we have a rook and a knight against. Sorry, not this one. Yeah, eventually they got to the position where there's a rook and knight against a rook. And they're gonna play for another 50 minutes, so we're gonna have a draw on the board number 6, I guess. No, yeah. Okay, I'm not checking this anymore. Like, we can count on which move they are on now. But we might also have a draw on the board number 4 very soon, and board number 3 is going to be draw, and also board number 1 is going to be draw. But they were very nice games today.
There will be exciting battles tomorrow.
There will be.
So we will request viewers to join us, and there will be these long games. I don't know, still black is trying, but looks like a draw for me. And And
Yeah.
so hard day in round 7 at Abu Dhabi Chess Festival. I think even harder
yeah.
fights are coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow we're going to have the pre-last game of the tournament, and
Yeah.
a lot of things might be decided already from round 8.
Yeah.
Of course, the decisive games are coming on the last day, round 9.
Yeah, and the final round at 10 a.m. This
Final
is
round is going to be at 10 a.m., which is
10 a.m. You know, some grandmasters cannot just play chess at 10 a.m. in the morning.
It's going to be a life-changing game, a life-changing.
So probably, probably they will. You know, some draws might happen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today we can definitely say that we're going to have a draw on the board number 3, 4, and 6.
Yeah.
And board number 1 is still trying to win,
But I think it's draw probably.
We're going
draw.
to have a
There's
draw.
not much left there.
There's not much left here. Black already missed his opportunity to get the lead of the tournament, which is a very important factor in today's game. And thank you, Ravi, for joining me.
Yeah, it was really good to discuss all these games and.
Same for me. So today with you were Women Grandmaster Maria Gevorgyan and International Master Ravi Kumar.
Signing off.
We'll be back tomorrow with the more exciting games.
Yeah.
And one more time, I would like to remind you that you were following the 29th Abu Dhabi Chess Festival, which is held from the 14th to 24th of August 2023 in the capital of the United Arab Emirates. And see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.